And we're live, back at it with the Tatts and Tarrasques, deep in the heart of Blingdenstone. I'm your host, DM Dan, and joining me is Mr. Brightside himself. We got Winford. I'm Dylan James, playing his third character of this campaign so far. Technically fourth, depending on the timeline. If you've been collecting the cross issues and the pin-up calendar piece that has an extra story on it, this may be his fourth character. But currently he is playing the ship crewmate Reynaud, the Githzerai planar pirate. That's right. Just realized my chat might not be. Hold on. And then finally, not finally, but to the left of his right, we have Pauly, the Parrot.
Yeah.
Played by Timmy, of course.
Hi.
Hey, Timmy. It's good to see you guys back after a week. It's been and Thorendir Grimsbane, heir to the Grimsbane fortune, should be joining us in an hour or so. But more importantly, I said we were left in the heart of Blingdenstone. When we last left our heroes, who wants to give us a bit of a recap of what we're up to?
Someone else can take this week. I was really hungover last week.
Yeah, same. And I'm a shit man.
Okay.
Tim, it's on you.
From last we met our heroes, we met the Slime King, or was it the Slime King? And there was way too many slimes around, so we decided to bugger that and try and get some reinforcements for that. We went to the leaders of Blingdenstone to try that, and then they just asked us to help them with something else, as well as doing that task. So we are now to go and meet a rival faction of the Blingdenstone gnomes to go and fight them, or make friends with them to make all of Blingdenstone one big happy family.
Or both.
And they decided to send the loudmouth parrot, the angry dwarf, the monk with the fastest fist, and a big bear who can get very angry and shoot lightning out of himself.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
like me.
I mean, that's the dream team, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. Top negotiators.
And on a grander scale, so you're helping them out with Blingdenstone. What is the main purpose of this? How do you find yourselves in Blingdenstone?
Well, we were given a ship by the great ghost captain Kingston Rage and Rolls. It was his old ship, and so it's been kind of sitting in the Underdark for, I think it was like 2 centuries. So she's not looking the best, and after destroying a kraken, she took quite a bit of damage. Also, after running away from a demogorgon,
and running over Ymir.
And running over Ymir, who is our late but great barbarian. We need to repair it so we can get her up to the sea.
Perfect.
That's pretty much where we're at now. Yep.
Right. And you wake up having spent the night in Blingdenstone's most notorious establishment, the Foaming Mug. Fabled throughout the Underdark as a place where you can get mushroom gin. It's only just recently reopened. It's the mended Foaming Mug. Before that, when Blingdenstone was sort of an abandoned city, then a lot of the gnomes abandoned the city upon drow attack. It became the broken Foaming Mug. You each wake up having experienced a long rest, which I'm sure you're very grateful for.
Yeah, I don't even remember us having a rest.
I was tired.
Yeah, after fighting gelatinous cubes and oozes and even some gnomes, as far as I remember, getting into certain fights and so on. But yeah, you find yourself well rested inside your rooms. Now, I think I laid this out as Winford, Thorendir, and Pauly all had a room together and left Reynaud in a separate room because it doesn't do for the enlisted and the officers to fraternize.
That's fair.
Imagine that. I get my own bedroom. I got the master suite. Like, you guys fucking sucked in.
But you're in there with Nesbit and Ratty, actually.
That's fine by me. Who was Ratty? I can't remember who that was.
It's his little pet.
That's Nesbit's pet rat.
Sick. Yeah, fine by me.
Cool.
He's my servant.
You say that, and Nesbit says, "I ain't your servant, you wee scunner. Me and Ratty outdrank ye." The bird said it. The bird captain said it himself. Oh, he said, Nesbit, you're as explosive as you are promotable.
Yeah,
that was verbatim.
I believe that you would be as explosive as you are demotable, my friend. And I'm just gonna walk out of the room and just leave him rambling to himself.
Cool.
If that is okay. I don't want to open doors. I'm scared of opening doors now.
Yeah, I've taught you well.
I'm opening the door.
Just the entire game we're just going to spend inside this room.
Why is this place so dark?
Is it dark? It shouldn't be that dark.
Yeah, I've got like a torchlight worth of light in here.
Oh, it's because it's underground. These guys know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, vision. Good point. I mean, I can see. I've got dark vision, I think. But like...
Yeah. Look, let's put some lights. Let's have a little torch here. Little torch here. How's that? Does that make you feel...
Yeah, I just assumed there'd be one at like either by the doors or like on the corners or something.
Yes. Well, you didn't pay for the master suite, did you? You got the dark dank suite.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna walk into the dark dank pub.
Aren't we staying here anyway, like for freezies?
Yeah. And Reynaud, as you enter the sort of main area, you notice that this place is a little bit more lively than when you arrived. It's like when you checked in, the bar was closed, the hotel bar was closed, but now that you've woken up for breakfast, there's a lot of activity out there. There's people kind of eating. You notice as well that there's a table of gnomes who seem to be playing some kind of dice game. And everyone else is just kind of, tucking into their morning mushroom gin.
All right. Well, I'm going to just mosey on over to the dice game and just try to learn a bit of this game.
Cool.
Just quietly observing.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. Where is it? Perception. That's a dirty 21.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you think you've picked up the rules of this game pretty quickly. Now we've already played Halflings and Giants, haven't we?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, this game's a little bit different. Well, I guess Reynaud wasn't there for Halflings and Giants. But,
yeah, no.
This game is called. Let's see.
Oh god. Just dying up, I mean.
Do die quietly.
This one's called Glittergold's Fortune. And you notice that each player is putting in what seems to be either sort of 25 gold pieces as a minimum buy-in or sort of small gems. Pieces, sort of like small diamond chips that seem to be in the realm of 5 gold each.
All right, well.
And then they sort of roll some dice under a cup, and then reveal it. And there seems to be sort of one gnome who's kind of like the house. He seems to be sort of running the table.
All right. Reynaud is upon observing the fact that They are paying. And the buy-in is 25 gold pieces. Reynard is going to walk away and just say to himself, a little bit too rich for my taste, seeing as that dwarf of ours has not paid me for my services. And I'm just going to go find an empty table and sit down.
Cool. What's everyone else doing?
Winford's
I'm just-
very asleep.
I'm just shocked that Reynard thinks he's getting paid.
I thought we were all getting paid. A stupid bird. Reynard's ears start tingling. He's like, oh, that fucking bird.
Why does every single one of your characters hate Pauly so much?
Why does Pauly make them hate him?
I just have one of those faces.
Yeah, one of those
Beaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beak you'd like to beat.
I've never met a
Punchable
bin
pig.
chicken I didn't like.
Well,
So Winfred's snoring away. Thorendir also snoring away. The call for adventure awaits, but everyone decides to stay in for another couple of hours. It's very Stanley Parable. You just sleep in, just waste the day away.
oh, you know what? We haven't actually been in a bed that wasn't on the boat for fucking ages. So it's probably just really nice.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, it's probably worse actually, Pauly. So you just got used to sleeping on a moving ship, and now
got
like
ground
as you
legs.
lie down in the stillness, it feels like there's swaying. You got that like that aftershock, that sea legs kind of thing, where like
That's rough. Yeah.
I had that after like a weekend, long weekend away on a houseboat. I tried you think you're still like moving around constantly.
Oh, speaking of that, sorry, I'm just going to like cut in for 1 second. Did anyone see the TikTok of the dog that lives on a ship? He's on a fishing ship.
No.
He's got perfect balance. Every time the ship rocks, the dog moves its body side to side, and it was the best thing I've seen all week. Okay, sorry, continue.
amazing.
I've got to see this now, Dylan. You can't drop something like that. And then just
I'll
expect
find
me
it and I'll send it
not
to you.
want it.
Well, Pauly will wake up. You know, being an early parrot. You know, he was always told the saying, you know, early parrot gets the worm. So he'll get up, have a little bit of a rest, and then get up.
Cool. All right, you make your way out into the greater hall. Just as you kind of make your way in there, you see a gnome come up to Reynard's table and asks him in Undercommon, which you do speak, I think, Reynard.
Yes.
You're able to pick up what he's putting down. He's asking you, what you'd like for breakfast, and kind of gestures to the slate board where it looks like kind of worms or slugs have kind of drawn in this bioluminescent gel. The specials for today.
One bowl of that, please.
Can I... Oh, the bird. I believe he was talking to me. What is your finest special of the day?
The gnome looks at you and says, well, we have a very great... we have a mushroom okonomiyaki. We've also got a mushroom stew. We also have fungi burgers. And you can't go wrong with anything from the Verm menu.
Nice. I'll go the stew. How much is the stew?
That'll be 10 copper.
I look at Pauly. All right, this is on your tab. Boss.
Yeah, right, fair enough. I guess I owe you that. It's coming
Of
out of your
course.
pay. It's coming out of your
No.
pay.
No, this is living and board. It's provided on a ship.
I feel like I'm just like Thorendir and I have this mental connection. Even with him still asleep, he's just docking Reynard's pay because I'm just sent him
mentally
a
docking
message,
my
yeah.
pay. Sick. Whatever. I don't care. That is fine. And I move one seat further away from the bird.
I challenge you to make a character that actually likes Pauly. That's going to be your
well, we don't.
role playing.
Well, no,
task.
Caden likes people. He's just
Okay.
reserved. So
Okay.
it's up to Pauly whether Caden will like Pauly.
You know how like you have to
Not
when you
if,
create
not
when
if
you create
I
a
have
character-
anything to do with it.
when you
Caden
create a
will.
character, you got to roll on that table for like ideals, bonds, and flaws
Yeah.
and stuff. Like I challenge you to have a flaw for a character that is actually likes Pauly.
Okay. Well, Caden will extend the proverbial
that is a
floating
character flaw.
scith.
Liking.
Oh, no,
Pauly
it absolutely
is.
is.
A character flaw.
No,
It
it
absolutely
absolutely is. I'm not denying that. That's the truth.
Cool. So after a few minutes, you two get a bit of a chance to learn a little bit about each other. Give me
Colorful
that.
bird.
It's like the food is taking like just a little bit too long, like you can see the guy, he's taken your order, but he's gone over to another table to chat with some gnomes. Like he hasn't even run it back to the kitchen yet. So you know that food is not coming anytime soon. And it's just that awkward moment where just you and Pauly are at the table together and you're the only two that like speak your language in this place, really.
I mean, I could just get up and go and speak on Undercommon with someone else. But Reynaud's not that much of a dick, and Pauly is still technically his boss. So he's kind of obligated to have this conversation. Well, he's not enjoying it. He's the way I imagine Reynaud, even though I didn't create him, but I'm just going to evolve his backstory a little bit now. Being a Gith, being very drab in color, and most of the planar beings being sort of drab in color. Reynaud doesn't quite like the over shininess of Pauly being so vibrant in being like a parrot Aaraockran. So he avoids the awkward eye contact of trying to look into both of a bird's eyes at the same time, because they're on the side of his head. So he's keeping contact. He's staring directly at Pauly's beak. And asking about the events of the day that will be happening.
Well, we should probably plan to meet up with these people, find out where they are, and from that, maybe find out some information about the leader.
Yeah.
If we can do that, we can kind of go into this with a bit more knowledge. And basically just kind of get a plan together.
All right. That Reynaud just nods and just as quietly as he's still sort of waking up. Agreed. Sounds like a good plan.
I'm full of good plans, baby. I mean, I hired you.
You didn't have a choice.
Yes. So that's pretty much it. I think yeah, maybe actually if you speak Undercommon, maybe you should go around and ask some of the locals here if they know anything about this tribe.
Okay. And I'm gonna say, do I follow your surface custom of throwing coins at them?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
well,
you're Gith. You're Gith. It's okay. I can keep that going. They
Well,
expect this from the bird now.
technically, I'm from above the surface.
If you want to go for it, you can do it. I'm not
Alright.
saying you can't do my custom.
Reynaud puts his hand out and asks for like 5 gold pieces, but like 5 gold worth of copper pieces.
Mentally docks this from his pay.
That works. That is fine. So we've got 5 gold pieces now. And then Reynaud is going to just how are we looking on our food currently?
Yeah, you got time.
Okay. Reynaud is going to just nod at Pauly and make his way over to.
How much would 5 gold be in copper pieces?
500
Isn't a copper?
pieces.
Yeah.
Oh,
one
perfect.
one copper is
So
1 cent.
That's only half of my copper.
Nice. So I'm gonna make my way over to this
There you go.
table.
Yeah, you now have 500 copper.
Nice.
Very good.
Let's just fix that up. Yeah, make my way over to this table. I'm not going to sit. I'm just going to sort of stand at the table and throw down 30 copper pieces and 10 for each of them. But I'm not going to I haven't quite mastered the technique yet. So I've thrown them onto the table in front of each of them. And just said, we're just wondering if you have any information to sell.
At least one of the coins, I guess, bounces up and hits the guy in the head. So you get kind of the same effect, but not
Nice.
quite. Most of it just scatters on the table, right?
Yeah. But if they go to collect the coins, they can't seem to move them. They're stuck to the table currently.
Okay.
I should add.
They don't touch the coins yet. They kind of look up at you, and one of them, his mouth, he kind of lowers his flagon of mushroom gin. And
I should just add. I cast Mage Hand on the walkover.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's it's the same. The way I'm imagining it is the same as my astral self arms. So they can't exactly see the hand. It's sort of just psionic energy there.
Yeah, I think the arms are the arms visible?
Well, the spell I think says that they are, but because we're going with psychic, I would say they're not.
Sure.
Not
I would say
exactly
if
visible.
you look hard, you probably see something.
If you've got a good understanding of Arcana, you would see them for sure. But
hover near your shoulders or surround your arms. You determine their appearance, and they vanish. Yeah. So you've turned down the opacity as much as you can.
Yes. So we've got it set to 0.5%.
Yeah. So there's a bit of outline there.
So basically got 30 copper pieces on the table with a mage hand holding them to the table.
Yeah.
And just saying we're looking to purchase some information about and then I yell back across the bar, Pauly, who are the people we're looking for?
I can't remember the name.
Sick.
Out of character, I can't remember the name.
I can't either. That was way too hungover last week.
What was the name of the tribe again? Sorry.
Was the Blingdenstone gnomes?
No, because that's just Blingdenstone in general. I cannot remember.
We're looking for information on the. This is why we need Aaron. We're looking for information on the other tribe.
This is just a teachable moment.
We're falling apart.
Yeah.
Aaron's our note taker.
He's very good with notes.
We should call him up.
Phone a friend?
Hey, can we phone a friend on this one? So hey, Aaron, we need your expertise.
We're
looking.
You're the note taker of the party.
But if you ever want to go back and learn about the previous episodes of Tatts and Tarrasques, we're 12
we do have VODs
just on this season so far. You can
true.
find them on the Nonfiction Gaming YouTube channel. And because I just was able to plug my own socials and it made me feel warm and fuzzy, I will tell you it was the... even I've forgotten now. The Golden Whisker?
We're looking for information. We'll roll with it. We'll roll.
The Gold Whisker Clan.
Alright, we're rolling with it. Alright, we're looking to purchase information on the Gold Whisker Clan. We've been tasked with contacting this clan for your leaders. Do you have any information to sell?
One of them spits on the floor and says that those filth they're not even gnomes anymore. Fuck those guys. And he goes to he says, you'll find them wherever you find trash. And then he goes and tries to grab the coins, but obviously can't move them. And kind of looks up at you and he's like, I gave you your information. Give me coins. I want coins.
That's not information. That was an insult on another clan.
And then one of the other gnomes goes hey, no, those aren't, he wasn't asking you. Those aren't your coins. Back off. And he shoves him. He's like, these are my coins. And they kind of get into a bit of a tussle.
Well, and just like that, the coins vanish in the blink of an eye off of the table and back into my pocket.
Okay.
And I just.
Pauly, I also gave you Bardic Inspiration in the Streamloots box.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I haven't set those up for a four-person
I'm going to. I'm going to just say, it appears that you have something to deal with amongst yourselves, and I'm just going to like step over this gnome-sized chair and go up to the bar and just wait for the barkeep and ask him instead.
Yeah. Eventually, you kind of hang around the bar. You see that the guy who kind of took your order has gone back into the kitchen, but he's spending a lot of time like at the kitchen door, kind of leaning on the door frame, chatting to someone in the kitchen. They seem to take service pretty lax here.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder with that mage hand.
Oh yeah. He turns around, kind of sees you over there, and goes like, and that says something more to the kitchen people, and then kind of comes out and stands in front of you.
I'm going to ask him the same question.
He says, your stew's coming, buddy. Just hold up. We've got a lot of demand for stew. You know, it's got to be boiled. We're practically growing it in there.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm actually here asking about some information. We're looking for the Gold Whisker clan and where they might be.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't really talk about them much. I mean, it's kind of I guess they're kind of like cousins you don't really like want to talk about much. They're kind of a bit backwards, you know. They've drifted from the gnomish ways.
Alright, as he's talking, I'm going to, with the mage hand again, grab the 30 coppers again out of my pocket and just sort of hover them in the air. And say, like just in one pile because it's one guy. If he's helpful, he gets 30 coppers. It was what the information was worth 30 coppers to me. So if he helps me, he gets the full 30. So I'm just gonna like essentially like tossing the coins, like jingling them in my hands, so it's like sort of distracting to him, so he notices them.
Yeah.
And just say if you're willing to assist and point me in the right direction.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage because you've got Bribe Town going on.
Very nice. Persuasion. That is a 13.
Okay. He says, "Oh yeah, is that for me? Is it?"
It can be for you if you are willing to assist.
He says, "Well, yeah, I can point you to where you might be able to run into them. It's a bit dangerous to go out there, though. It's in the unclaimed part of the city. We actually put up a wall to keep the Gold Whisker out."
Please don't tell me you made them pay for it.
Well, we're thinking about it. Occasionally they keep coming in and stealing our jobs.
And we're gonna be siding with the Gold Whiskers and just like revolt the whole town now.
A bunch of heathens, these Gold Whiskers. They come in here stealing all our jobs, and they've never worked an honest day in their life.
Okay, damn it. This is okay. The main reason why like most of Pauly's feathers are red is because he's a fucking communist. Let's go.
That makes sense as a pirate because like everything is
bourgeoisie. I'm all about the proletariat.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like actually, in all honesty, most pirate communities were like very progressive on their views, like very, very, very progressive.
Well, every one on the ship gets a share, and then the captain gets a double share.
Double share. That's it. No more than that. Double share. That was it. Yeah. And then he could be voted. He could be voted out at any point.
Yeah. I think does the quartermaster or the bookkeeper gets like 1.5 share or something too, because like they do have to know how to read.
Yeah, reading is an important factor.
Yeah, you don't need too many readers, but just one. So he says, "Oh, those Gold Whiskers. They were just look, they reckon this town is theirs because they never left, and that's bullshit. Our ancestors got driven out, and we're here. We're building civilization again. We're installing pubs, and bringing in commerce, and we're going to reopen the city and make it brilliant.
The Blingdenstones are the Mormons in Utah. That's the way I'm saying it right now.
Yeah. I mean, if I knew more about geopolitical conflict, I could maybe draw a really long bow to get us to some current conflict, but I won't. There's a displaced people, and there's some people who are like, no, we've been here the whole time. We never left. Get out of our spot.
Yeah, I definitely think we could draw a very long bow to some current world events. Anyway, yeah, we'll leave that one alone.
We'll let you at home play bingo on that one.
We're not a political based stream of any sort.
We are now.
Yeah.
No, please God, no.
Yeah. Let's not go into that. We will lose fucking viewers. That's for sure.
So yeah, the gnome barkeep tells you that. He says, look, I can point you in the direction, just like be wary, like there's the wrong side of the wall. Like that area is just, they've really let that go, and I mean there's a reason why the council's not letting them back in. It's because they can't be trusted to like clean up after themselves. It's just filth town over there. It's just, they're unclean, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Can you just point me towards this wall so I can make my way?
I'm picking up another side to this story. Like, I feel like there is a separate fucking point to this.
Yeah, there absolutely is.
Investigated. Is food being served yet, lads?
Well, I mean, you didn't order.
No, I know I didn't order. I'm still asleep. I'm asking, is food being...
Oh, true. That would wake you.
No, it absolutely wake me up.
Being brought out, and certainly the smell of cooking, different, some like braised mushrooms, mushroom stews. There is sort of like a protein, like a worm-like protein.
Okay. Winford stirs from his sleep at the various smells of food. Ooh. Time for breakfast. And he starts walking out.
Describe to me what Winford looks like and like how he gets up.
Just imagine like when you wake up out of bed and you're really shaggy and you got a bunch of cowlicks on the top of your head, like visibly disheveled and very well rested. That's what Winford looks like at the moment. He could use a bit of shampoo and conditioner, that's for sure.
Now, Winford, I think, traditionally wears a kilt.
He does.
From memory. Does Winford sleep in a nightshirt, though? Like, what? Because I'm imagining a nightshirt that just comes to his midriff, but then he takes that off to put the kilt back on.
Yeah, he wears a red, like, crop top and no pants.
That's nice.
Yeah. And yeah, who do you think I named this character on? You think I would have dropped a couple references in there somewhere?
But Yogi Bear.
Yes. No. But Winford starts rolling out, still in his crop top and no pants, and starts like wandering through the hallways, trying to figure out which way to go. And I'm gonna open a couple of doors just to try and find my way through.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Reynolds just gonna say.
Walked into another empty room, and I just like slowly shut the door behind me. I'm gonna go and check the next one.
His schnoz hasn't quite woken up yet.
No, not yet. No, I walk into the next room, and there's nobody in here either. So he shuts the door behind him. He starts walking down the hallway. He's like, "Oh, food hall. Okay, I'm gonna do that."
Reynolds just gonna say to the barkeep, if you can point me in the direction of this wall, or at least a breach in the wall, or I don't know, a way through, so that I can make my way over there.
He says, "Yeah, well, I mean, you can get through the big doors if you have a way of getting through the big doors. You said that the council is sort of on your side with this one. So, I mean, if that's the case, maybe they can let you through the big gates, the big doors.
I don't need to be let through. I can climb the wall. That's easily done.
Yeah.
We have a bird.
We're in a cave.
Winford walks beside Pauly,
so
obviously not wearing pants.
walls
and sits
typically
down
go to the
beside Pauly.
ceiling.
Okay.
I know that might be
Well.
a bit antithetical to your surface way of doing things, but that's how it is down here, because because like walls would be really shit if you could just climb over them and get there anyway. Like, what's the point of building a wall? It's actually a useless security feature.
Reynard is very very annoyed at the fact that he just got lumped in as a surface dweller, and he's going to drop it. Now I'm not from the surface. Don't you lump me in with that lot. I'm a being far beyond their understanding, let alone yours.
So you're from deep down, are you? Are you deeper down?
Deeper up, higher, much higher.
Deeper up.
He's still half asleep, okay? He's still getting on.
Justified.
You're saying
Much
justified.
higher than the sky.
Higher than the surface.
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
And then he's going to.
Hopefully, our heir is, up to your standards, my lord.
Oh no, I don't require that. And then he's just gonna flash his 6 spectral arms for like a split second and flash them away and then wink.
Yeah. He says, impressive trick. And says, now for your next one, I can make those coins disappear. And he holds out his hand.
Which way is the large gate?
You're going to want to go through the westernmost gate, near the Trader's Grotto. There's a big gate there. Has a bunch of signs on it saying, do not go through, warning, etc. Just go through that one.
All right. Is he wearing like a vest with like pockets on the front?
Sure.
All right. Well, he's gonna the coins are gonna float over. His middle finger's gonna pull forward the pocket and just drop the coins in there, and then like just pat it to be like, "There's your coins, bud."
He says,
and as he's walking away already, like,
yeah,
and he's just gonna like say, "Much appreciated."
Cool. He instantly pulls the coins out and begins counting them.
I did not shortchange him. I'm not Pauly.
That's fine.
He's been given the correct amount.
I don't
Give me an
shortchange
insight
people.
check.
If I'm actually gonna pay them, I mean, I'll pay them.
Fair enough.
Reynard, give me an insight check. No, you
5.
You don't. As you sit down, you see that the cooks brought out your stew, like your bowl of stew, and there's a sort of a side plate of verms, and he places that down on the table.
Reynard's just gonna say, thank you to the cooks, and then with using one spectral arm, pick up his bowl of stew, and with another spectral arm, pick up a spoon, and then he's going to stand up and just say to Pauly and Winford, "I'm gonna go do some investigating."
I'm gonna tuck into these verms.
Yeah,
all about them.
I'm just gonna walk over and just check with what looks like an actual dwarf over here.
Oh no, I just didn't want to use the same.
Okay.
Over and over again.
I'm gonna go to this guy, the guy that's sitting alone, because he looks like he could be useful.
Sure.
I'm just gonna
Pauly,
pull up.
You tuck into
like,
this
near him.
plate of swarming, slithering, sort of like worm things, and as you bite into them, they're sort of in the low light of this tavern. They kind of give off a little bit of a glow. Their slime kind of gives off a little bit of a glow. And as you kind of bite into them, Winford, you see all around Pauly's beak where like the juices have splashed onto his beak. He kind of has like, instead of a milk mustache, he's kind of got like this sort of, it's almost like he's bitten into a glow stick.
Yum.
Hey, Pauly, you got a bit of a, bit of on your chin there, just like right there.
On the bottom of my beak, I don't really have a chin.
To be fair, I just woke up. Leave me be. Yeah, he's got a chin.
He's got a very soft chin, okay? Not very many defining features except for the bright red feathers.
I've had somebody in my Twitch chat call it a glow stash.
Nice.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, Pauly, you're sort of tucking into these verms. Winford, you notice that there's no food for you here, as it seems like Reynard has taken his bowl of stew away, and Pauly's tucked into the only other dish that was brought to the table. Hello.
Huh?
Did we lose Jacob?
No, we didn't lose Jacob. Jacob's here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you didn't respond, so that's fine. I'll assume you do nothing.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Repeat the question.
It was more just that, yeah. So the food that was at the table has either been is either being consumed by Pauly or taken away by Reynard. There is no more food for you as you sit down.
Winford will stumble over to the bar.
Upon seeing this, Reynard, who doesn't eat all that much, also just like will like spectrally move the rest of his plate to Winford as well.
So Winford, as you
Winford's already walked over to the bar. Yeah.
Following you, slowly bobbing behind you, is a bowl of stew. And as you reach the bar, it bumps into your back.
I'll turn around and look at the stew. Like, oh, thank you, Mr. Invisible Man, sir. I'll take that. Thank you very much. And I'll start like walking back to the table with a bowl of stew in hand.
These guys have ghost waiters. It's so cool.
Are they just more slimes?
Could be. Let's put these up on the screen so we can see our three mighty heroes. Cool. Reynard, you've sat down next to a gentleman. Now you are currently empty-handed, apart from maybe a spoon.
No, the spoon's back on the table behind me. I can just fuck that over there. I don't need that.
Sure. What are you doing at this table? The gentle gnome in front of you kind of eyes you suspiciously as you sit down.
I'm just going to ask him, are you aware, or do you have any information of what is beyond the Western Gate?
He kind of looks around furtively and says, we're not supposed to go there, friend.
But do you know what is beyond it?
Of course, but do you?
That's why I am asking you.
I could tell you. I could get you there for the right price.
I know where it is. I just need to know what is beyond. That's what I'm trying to know. How about 10? How does 10 coppers sound for you to tell me what is beyond the Western Gate?
Oh, to face the dangers and troubles and traps and evils that lurk beyond our safe city walls. Smuggle outsiders outside of Blingdenstone. I'm afraid it's going to be much more costly than that, friend.
I am here. I am tasked by the council. I'm just looking for information. I do not need a smuggler. I do not need anything else. I just need information.
He says, then you're working for the council? Then, yeah, well, I don't know anything. No. Never been outside these walls. I grew up here. Don't even know that there is anything outside the walls.
Alright, I'm going to just say to him, oh, so all of that information of smuggling, all of that talk of smuggling is now just non-existent.
He sort of
Very
hides it
interesting.
with a sip of his drink. It's just like, do you know what you're talking about, mister?
Alright. So, if I were to call the guard, you would be fine? There's no issue with me just calling some guards in to have a chat?
He looks at you and says, I'm a good tax-paying citizen of Blingdenstone, mate.
I'm trying to
Doing
help you
anything wrong?
here.
I don't fear the law.
Oop. He
You
told
don't
you,
fear
mate.
the law.
We're gonna die.
You
Have
don't
fun.
fear the law.
Have fun in the Warrens. Good luck doing whatever it is that the revenue's got you doing.
Alright, thank you for telling me that is the Warrens. That's all I needed. And I drop 5 coppers on the table and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Got my information. Fuck you.
He's sort of still sitting there, kind of eyeing you a little bit as he sips his drink. The copper's untouched on the table.
Well, if they're untouched, I'll leave them for a couple of moments, and then they will disappear and come back to me.
Well, by disappear, I assume
They will float
in
back
the air.
to me. Yeah, but very quickly.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Well, if he's not going to take him,
Well,
I'm going to take him back.
He starts
17.
seeing them move. And he is like, hang on, and then tries to grab at them and grabs them out of the air.
All right. And then I look back and I just wink.
And he, gives you a humorous gesture and pockets the coins, puts his drink on the table and walks out.
Nice.
Follow him.
I'm not going to bother. He's fine. I'm just going to hunker
Cheer
down with
goes up
Winford.
on the other side of the room as it seems like someone just kind of hit a jackpot.
Oh wait, there's gambling.
Oh, you were asleep for this, Pauly. There's a dice game over there. It's 25
Pauly-
gold pieces to buy in.
Pauly rushes over the second you said dice game.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was going. Now I look at Winford and I was like, I was going to tell him the rules, but guess he'll lose all of our pay. Either or.
You guys are getting paid.
Yeah. I just slammed 25 gold on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So they start. So the gnomes around the table look up at you, and one of them in kind of halting common says, "Play dice, surfacer."
Yes.
He sort of holds up 2 dice,
Mm-hmm.
sort of 2 regular d6s,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, he kind of shows you the numbers on them. So there's 1 to 6 on each dice.
Yep.
And he says, you throw, and then turns the symbol to 5 and 2 and says 7, and then turns it to a 6 and a 6. 12, big win.
Okay.
And then shows other combinations and is like, you lose. And then he says, pulls a 3rd dice across and says, double bet, add dice.
Okay. I'm curious. Can I because I mean, like, because I'm a swashbuckling pirate boy, and I've played a lot of dice games and that kind of thing. Can I try and use sleight of hand to favor my rolling of these dice?
Yeah. Are you trained in any kind of gambling set?
No, I'm not.
Um,
If I don't know that that was a thing, I definitely would be.
yeah. I think most people get, or maybe they just get a thing in there, like they get the tools themselves. I'm not sure if you need to be trained. Maybe you don't need to be trained in them. All right, yeah. So okay, if you give me a sleight of hand check, let's just see. Let's work this out on the fly. Let's see if this is reasonable.
16.
So sleight of hand 16. So I'll say yes, you can have advantage on your roll here, but you'll also need to make a stealth check that beats their perception check.
Okay.
Or else they notice you trying to like slide the dice instead of throw it, right?
16 as well.
All right.
All right. So roll
2d6.
Roll 4, 2d6, roll, and then roll it again, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'll say. Yeah. Roll it again. Yeah. Roll 2d6 again.
9.
Cool. So neither of those is helpful.
Okay.
But you think you're starting to get the technique down, and they kind of indicate to you that like 9's not a win, but if you want to roll one more, like a third dice,
Yep.
you have to double your bet.
I only have 60 gold, so yes.
And so you're trying to hit a 7 or a 12.
Okay.
Just to interject just for a second here, Winford, out of his curiosity, wants to go and spectate the game, but not play. So I'm going to go and stand like next to Pauly and just like watch curiously from over his shoulder.
Can I roll that third dice with advantage as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, 3. Yes.
So
12, right?
Yeah.
12,
So
yeah.
so the way you roll the 2 dice to begin with, and there there's kind of like jeering and whatnot around the table, a bit of elbows to each other, and like one guy going like, oh, tough luck, but then he's tempting you with that, oh, double bet, add a dice, and with this one you really give it that goose, you have to give it that special spin that you've been training.
Yeah.
Up in the Sea of Swords, up and down the coast there, and it precariously, it kind of like lands on the 2 and then kind of flips over onto the 3 at the last second, and there's kind of a bit of a like and you get 100 gold back.
Yes. Sick.
And there's, it seemed like there was some like side bets going on and stuff like that. So some people are pleased, some people aren't. And they don't seem to have noticed anything about your special dice technique. So you are now 75 gold up.
Fuck yeah, 75 gold up. Yeah, hell yeah.
Right, because you started with 25. Oh wait, no, you'd be 50 gold up.
No,
right?
50 gold, 50 gold up.
Sorry.
That's what I thought. Yeah, okay, cool. All good. Oh, that's what I put in. I'm okay with that. Perfect. You know what? Let's just go for a cheeky 20, like another 25.
Yeah.
Still up. I'm still. This is how the casino always wins. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let you win the first one. Should I roll again of sleight of hand and stealth, or?
Jacob was asking a question. What's up?
Sorry, yeah. I have a question. Would I be able to roll a schnoz roll or a perception check or something like that to see if anybody was rolling weighted dice or maybe being a bit dishonest? Or would that be more of like an insight check?
That's probably that'd be a perception check, I think,
Okay.
but definitely not a schnoz one.
No,
That's
I didn't
purely
think it would be a
visual. I
schnoz
think
roll.
like the but this
Yeah,
is people are rolling dice like against the house almost. Like there's a guy kind of like commanding the table, and he's the one that's taking the bets and paying out. He's the one that brought the dice, I guess. And then there's people taking side bets and stuff, so they're not actually rolling.
Oh, I see.
Probably smaller amounts. So it's kind of like craps.
Yeah, you're playing against the table.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's craps.
Okay.
All right. Should I roll another sleight of hand and stealth check for this one?
Yep. So roll me the sleight of hand first. Yeah, you're pretty confident.
Ooh,
You've got the feel of these dice. Like
18.
you're giving them a bit of a flick up and down. You know, you're blowing them. You got the weight of these. You reckon you could? You've set them up, ready to go. That you're going to do the spin now. See if you can do it surreptitiously.
Stealth again?
Why don't you? Yeah. Roll stealth again.
$13. Ugh.
Okay.
Oh god, that doesn't sound good. 9.
Okay.
Isn't that the number you needed?
No, you need
No,
a
that's
7 or a
right.
12.
That's right. Sorry. Yep.
But you get to roll twice because of the special. Boom.
7.
Yeah. So why don't you describe it to me this time? How do you load these dice?
So basically, I'm gonna throw one up, and then I'm gonna peg the other dice at the dice in the air, and they're both gonna hit the table, and then bang.
Yeah.
At different angles. So hit the edges of each side of the table. So it looks like they're both gonna fall off, but they land at the edges of each table.
And what you're actually doing, that looks impressive, but the main thing that you're hiding is that whilst the dice were tumbling or you're hiding the fact that the dice weren't tumbling properly, right? Because you're trying to load a result. And so you kind of hit the dice, and they both, instead of landing and rolling, they kind of just land flat on the edges of the table. And there's sort of a bit of an excitement, bit of clapping. No one has seemed to notice. You win another 25 gold.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's pretty damn good. All right.
The gnome at the table, some of them are like, no, come on, you're lucky, and one of them goes and he rolls, and let's see how he does. He rolls an 8, and he's like, you've stolen all the luck. Get out of here. You've stolen all the luck.
Stolen luck. All right, bye. I can't complain. I'm 75 gold up. All right. And then I'm going to walk back to the table with a bit of swagger, and then just give Reynard 5 gold and go, there you go, 10 gold's your pay, mate.
Reynard just looks at him and says, I'm not getting paid by you. Getting paid by the dwarf. You can keep your profits, that's fine.
This is how I pay people, okay? With my gambling winnings. I gamble what we earn, and then if we keep the money and we make more, everyone gets paid. If I lose the money, I ask for money back.
So was that 5 gold pieces?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. And it's added to my inventory.
And so,
Don't tell
Pauly, you've been
Nesbit.
paid.
Don't tell Nesbit. I pay him in gunpowder.
Yes, I'm aware. I know. You can practically fucking smell the man from here. Very explosive.
Yes, you've been
that
paid
chap.
you can just mark it down as gold, Pauly, but for theater of the mind, for the adjective word picture I'd like to draw you. It's a combination of gold pieces, the coinage of which you're not really familiar with. Like, gold is gold. You can pretty much smell gold. It's got that malleable feel to it. Bends when you put your beak to it. You see some weird symbols on them. One of them says ABC. One of them says Perth Mint. One of them says PAMP. you're just sort of not really sure about what these mythical
ABC
glyphs.
one is obviously worth the most money, realistically.
That's right.
Because you know it's from a trusted and reputable, like, you know.
Very good.
Anyway,
Inspiration
continue.
for Pauly. For continuing the branding grift. And
I'll
you've also
take it.
been paid in sort of these almost like diamond chips, sort of like very small diamond pieces, like uncut, that they kind of assure you are kind of worth the same. But you can just mark it down as gold. But you know, here
Okay.
it seems like gold and gems are kind of interchangeable.
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. Actually, you know what? Can I get Rayno to come over there? Because like I'm guessing I've made some friends with the guys over there too.
Some of them really like you. Some of them are like, you know, like a couple of them who
Bad
haven't,
luck.
yeah, who've been losing money, don't like to see a winner, right? Because they're like, this
Yeah.
fucking outsider just turned up at the table, started winning.
All right. Actually, I'm gonna go back there. With Rayno. Rayno, can you come with me? I need you to translate. And then like I want to go up to one of the gnomes, sorry, that like I won a lot of money for.
Yeah. Yeah. He sees you and Reynard come over, and he kind of points to you again. He's like, "Oh, again," you know, and like his mate is like, "Oh, fuck, not this again." Like,
yeah. So I'm gonna like I'll try to talk to him. Be like, "All right, pal. I'll go again, but I need some information as well." Then I'll get to just kind of elbow
lucky,
Reynard.
Lucky surface bird, very lucky. Give me a feather, a lucky feather. Yes. How much? How much for the feather? wives.
Let's go.
Let Reynard jump in on this one. Reynard would say, lucky feather, hey?
My body is for
25
sale.
gold pieces.
Yeah, my body is for sale.
How much did you say?
25 gold. 25 gold pieces.
He says, hard haggle. I give you 1 gold. I give you this diamond chip, 1 gold. 1 gold for the bird's feather. Give me all the feathers, maybe all the feathers lucky. You give me all the feathers, I'd be as lucky as the bird.
A life filled with luck is worth 1 gold to you.
1 feather, 1 gold.
No.
No, yeah, and then I'll step in. I will step in. I will whisper to you, is like, do it for 1 gold and information on how to get past the wall.
Okay.
Can I
Okay.
make an intimidation check?
We're not trying to intimidate a whole tavern full of
We're
dwarves.
not trying to intimidate him.
Okay. Never mind.
If you're getting bristly,
Can I make a persuasion check of Winford just being like, take the
I mean, if you're being
like
intimidated,
over pulling Reynard's shoulders.
sure. Don't let these two who
Oh,
just said something to you out of
do whatever you
character.
want.
Don't let them dictate what is Winfred doing in his heart and his soul.
Why? Yeah.
Well, I just want to be of assistance. I just want to like try and coerce people to give us the information that we need, so we can go about our business.
So you're going to assist me with asking for the information now? Or
Yeah,
are you just
can I
going
make an assisted persuasion check as like I'm standing behind them, being like, take the deal.
Sure. So that's
Alright.
sort of like a friendly, yeah, take the offer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 8.
You midway through trying to tell them like, hey, yeah, take the offer, you get distracted by more food on the table. You notice that there's kind of like a lot of spilled food on the table.
Is it on the table in front of me, or is it an adjacent table? 'Cause that was the one
There's
that
like
was
a bunch of
down
coins, dice, and like there's sort of an untouched platter of what appears to be some like cured meats, and unspeakable fish horrors that have been like turned into sushi. You just get that fresh sushi smell right up in your schnoz and just can't contribute to helping.
Reynard like looks back at Winfred, sees him getting distracted by the food, and just goes, Now, as our friend here was saying, take the offer, but how about you give us some information and 5 gold pieces, and you can have 2 feathers.
Give me a persuasion check. It's gonna be tough. You've just raised
Alright.
the stakes. You're getting
Do
no
I
help.
get? Is anyone going to assist me with this?
I'm gonna bristle my feathers and kind of shake them around.
All right, can I get advantage for that?
Well, let's. What is this,
we're-
Pauly?
We're selling my body. I mean, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. I guess it's I guess it'd probably be
performance.
I'll accept performance. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be performance. So do you want me to roll a performance check?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
15.
That's a good roll.
So you primp up the feathers a little bit. There's some real nice ones sticking out the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And a 16 for persuasion.
Yep. The gnome says, "Oh yes, the shoulder ones, the trap feathers. They're the best feathers. They're lucky. Aaraockra neck feathers. They know. Oh, that's where the Aaraockra store all their luck. Right here in the good spot." He says, "You give me 5 from there." And I 2 from there. I give you 5 gold and tell you what you want to know.
All right.
I'll pluck him out of my him out of my neck.
Before he goes to pluck them from his neck, Reynolds mage hand will just stop his hand and just do it very gently so he doesn't even notice. No discomfort for the bird, if he'll allow it.
I do allow it. I do allow it.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check then.
Alrighty. Nope.
Ow.
5.
Pauly take 5 damage as
Oh my
as he
God.
pulls
Should have done it
these 2
myself.
feathers out. He pulls them slowly, and it's like pulling a hair out, just fucking slow. You really wish you just ripped that band-aid off.
I'm just gonna fucking screech, do one of those big bird screeches. Because I can get stabbed and then say nothing, but it's it's like those tiny pains when you stub your toe, right?
Yes.
They're pure agony.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hence the 5 damage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Stubby toe. I could definitely.
I've been shot by an arrow and been hurt less.
Reynard then goes.
Being stabbed by a dagger could certainly be less damage than that.
Yeah.
Yes. Although paper cut would be 10 HP, easily.
Yeah. But Reynard's done that thing from Kung Fu Hustle where he's pulled the knife out, heard you scream, and he puts it back in.
Yeah.
Reynard will then hold the feathers, but out of reach, closer to myself, and just say, "Okay, we're looking to get into the Warrens. We need to contact the Gold Whisker clan."
Yeah, he says, "Well, oh yeah, I mean, we can take you take you past the gate, into the Gold Whisker Warrens, or into the Warrens themselves. I mean, we're not insane though. We're not going to go deep in there. That's wild gnome territory.
Just get me close enough and point the direction. That's all I need."
Sure.
All right, and then I make the exchange.
Cool. All right. He hands over the 5 gold.
Yep. All right. I toss the 5 gold to Pauly, and just say, "Sorry about that. My bad."
As they say in the planar realms, my bad.
My bad, my friend. I apologize. And then I flip him an extra gold piece.
Pauly's looking quite flush now.
So yeah,
you're all
Pauly.
getting- you're all better.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Pauly gains 6 gold pieces instead of 5.
Thank you.
Pauly, if you just mark down -2 feathers now.
I will mark down -2 feathers.
Well, we're creating a market now with supply and demand for Pauly feathers. Currently, 1 feather is worth 2.5 gold pieces.
Well, yeah. I mean, in sort of Europe, in the pirating days, people would pay a lot for ostrich feathers and stuff. So, that and like, exotic silks and whatnot. I assume Aaraockra feathers are actually quite rare down here, the kind of color of them, especially.
And then I'll make my way over to the barkeep again real quick. Just say, barkeep, do you have any healing potions, or do you know where I could get some?
Oh yeah. Let me see. He says we've got basic. We got basic kind of healing potions, and they're 50 gold each.
I walk away.
All right, cool. Well, let's get this information from this dude then.
Oh, we've got they're taking us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah,
Alright,
they will accompany us.
Let's do it then. Let's wake up Thorendir and then do it.
Yeah.
I'll go wake up the dwarf.
Yeah.
Reynald,
you wake up Thorendir, and he says, "Pauly, my lad, are we ready for adventure and glory for the Grimsbane name? I see you. I can smell the smell of illicit behaviors on you. I hope you've not been getting up to any mischief. I already see a couple of feathers missing from the top of your crown and your neck. I hope it's not related."
Oh, I've already sold my body and won enough money to be very, very happy. Oh, by the way, we've paid Reynald for the year.
Yeah. Reynolds' ears start tingling again. He's like, hold on just one fucking minute. And then Reynolds just going to signal to are these dwarves or gnomes?
Gnomes. They're all gnomes.
All right, he's going to signal to the gnomes. Would you be able to accompany us post haste? And then the sooner we go, the sooner you can get back to here and make some more money and test out your luck, your new acquired luck.
He seems very excited. I just got a message from Thorendir, actually. He says, "All right, we go, because we need to come back." And he tucks the feathers into he's in a vest inside, keep them close, sort of in a pocket. And they lead you through the town of Blingdenstone. Where are we here?
Hell yeah.
In Blingdenstone. Cool. So you make your way through the sort of interconnected network of caverns. And as you pass through, you see sort of pockets of them, obviously passing by homes, workshops, stalls, small sort of temples and things like that. It's sort of early, despite there obviously being no sunlight down here. It does seem to be early morning, in that commerce is just starting to bring up and start to take place. You obviously walk around without difficulty, even though you're a bit larger. There is enough headroom here, but not a ton of headroom in these caves. And you see lots of stairs and ramps leading to balconies, hollows, stairs leading underground further, things like that. There's also a lot of walkways and stuff, so it's multi-level. And there's bioluminescent fungi that are starting to bloom and kind of provide the light of near day kind of light. There's also caged. You pass by a stall that has a bunch of cages, and inside are a bunch of fire beetles that have sort of flaming red butts. And flames are kind of licking off their abdomen, providing.
Would you say they have a hot booty?
I'd say they have a hot dump truck. Yes.
Hey, nice.
And occasionally as well, you do see sort of the occasional magic light or lantern. And occasionally you do need to sort of duck a little bit to go through one of the. He takes you through a walkway into another big chamber, but to do so you got to kind of duck down and go through. As where are we here? Blingdenstone zoomed. Cool. So yeah, it takes you through the winding roads of the of Blingdenstone, kind of back to near that entrance cavern where you first entered. If you remember, to the south down here was kind of like the maze you had to walk through to get through to enter this area in general, and over to the north is the door you went through where there was a lot of ooze and slimes and whatnot. And as you kind of get a look into the north, you see the Trader's Grotto. There's a sort of a street sweeping crew cleaning up the remnants of the gelatinous cubes that you fought in there.
And the coins that Pauly dropped on people.
Most of the coins are gone, yeah. But those got swept up first, for sure.
Can't blame them.
And the gnomes lead you to sort of this door here. And he says, west of these doors is the Gold Whisker Warrens. I leave you. You have many feathers left. You are a very lucky bird. You are lucky. I see you again. Because beyond these walls, beyond this door, danger round every corner. All Zerfneblin clans, no longer even Zerfneblin. There's something else. Something dark and twisted. Take care.
Are there any guards?
I will, and take care of my feathers. They're very important to me. I was quite attached to them.
He pats his vest and says, I go to win more money and become Barrow Warren in my own right. Start my own city with this luck. When I win more money, I come back for more feathers. You sell them to me.
A penny. I quit.
Is that Eurotrash?
Yeah.
You're
good movie.
Are
Are there any guards stationed at the gate to the Warrens?
None specifically guarding it. There's people going around and stuff, but there's none that are like guarding this gate specifically.
All right, would I be able to investigate the lock to see if I can open the door and get us through, but not in a way that it would damage the door so that it can't be closed again?
I mean, there's certainly a locking mechanism, but as someone that's not trained in picking locks,
True. I'm only trained in a horn and a. Why am I trained in bard tool?
I mean, I can pick the
trained in
lock.
instruments.
I can pick the lock. I got tools and I'm proficient in it.
This is true. All right. Well, I'm just going to
probably smack it with something.
No, we don't want to break it. I mean, you can break it if you want, but like, I think that's
I'm about to try.
Yeah, I'm going to point out the locking mechanism to Pauly and just say, I believe you're the only one of us able to do this. Yes. And I'll just step aside and be ready to diffuse any situations that may arise of us tampering with a door that's not meant to be opened.
I mean, like the council. Knows.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, as in, I'll have a conversation with whoever comes up to try and stop us.
I think that's smart. I think giving the persuasion skills and deception skills to the -1, the guy with -1 in persuasion and deception is hilarious.
Well, I mean, who has better than me that's not picking a door?
I mean, I can do both.
I
probably could do both. I could talk my way out of it afterwards too.
All right, well, Raynord's just got to find a high spot to sit on and just be a lookout. Because he's a monk and he does dope monk shit. I'm just going to, like, walk up the wall. Like, just sit up. Like, I don't know, 15 feet up the wall if there's somewhere around there that I can sit.
Oh, that also, reminds me that Pauly... Oh, no, we'll take it out of Thorendir's pay. I'll say that Thorendir's going to be 20 copper down for the food.
Yeah, that's fair.
When he goes to settle the tab.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
fair.
He is the boss.
Okay, where is Thieves' Tool? There they are. Phew.
Yeah.
15.
Uh,
I'm very proficient in them.
it takes you a few minutes, but eventually
Yeah.
there's sort of a click of a mechanism, and you hear like water rushing and gurgling, and the door starts to sort of swing itself open.
All right, awesome. Well, let's go in.
Alright.
Cool. You start making your way through. You notice that this area of the caverns is obviously a lot less built up, and it's a lot more run down. The main entrance. There is some fungi and nightlight torch stalks and things like that in the area, but you notice that this area beyond the door is incredibly messy. So there's several areas, or you kind of get, Winford especially, you get sort of assaulted, almost like punched in the nose by the smell of like overripe food that's kind of been left to rot a little bit.
Right. Okay.
Yo, is it wine? Is it off wine?
I'm just gonna relay it to the guys and just be like, it smells like something's going rotten in here. Like someone forgot about their lunch and then tried to microwave it and then like forgot about it again. Don't look at me like that. You guys don't have microwaves?
Tasty mutton.
Reynolds just like microwave. We don't have those in the
little
planar realms.
tiny waves.
We don't have those in the planar realms. I'm very confused, Bear. You'll have to teach me more of this.
I think I've seen these. It's like these, like really, like it's like a hot spring thing, and the waves kind of like cook the food as it hits them.
That's one way of thinking about it.
Thought waves were cold. I thought it had something to do with water.
Some waves.
Anyway.
It's like a
alright.
tiny wizard casting fireball on your food.
Okay, I understand now.
I'm actually may go stealth and then try and forge ahead.
Yeah, I'm also going to try and stealth.
I'm also going to try and stealth, seeing as like everybody else is stealthing. So Winford is going to put up his hood and
22.
try his best to be stealthy as much
16.
as a 900 kilo barbarian could.
With clanky boy armor.
I got an 11.
Winford
Clink,
doesn't wear armor.
clink.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, that's right, true.
It's his weapons on his back that make noise.
Not even that. I don't even have that many weapons. I've got what? My
That was Ymir
hammer.
in full plate, like
Yeah.
Half plate. Half plate.
He still
He just had
he still carries
300
50
pounds worth of an
Yeah.
armory on his
It was
back.
full plate
15
on lesser
javelins,
men.
like-
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, on a normal size, on a human, it would have been full plate and then some.
Yeah.
For Ymir, it was half plate and missing some.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So what's your marching order in terms of Pauly? See me and describe to me, just not just I go stealth, but like describe to me what you do to move stealthily.
Basically, seeing that the crystals are quite bright, I wanted to be the opposite side of each crystal. So staying in the shadows, moving ever so slowly, but very surely away from the door. And then, like,
Winford is going to pull up the hood on his great kilt. And like, because it is a great kilt, like I can do it without revealing my butt, which is nice. But Winford is going to pull up the hood and like do like the Pink Panther thing through the cave, try and be stealthy.
Yep.
Would you say there are any
I
like
feel like
pathways about midway up the wall?
No, there's quite a narrow, like a low-ceilinged cavern.
Okay.
So in this back area, there seems to be leading to another, perhaps bigger cavern beyond, but similar to the smaller areas you had to duck in on your, when you made your way through side chambers and things like that. This one you're not having to duck yet, but there's not a lot of headroom for sure.
All right, I'm gonna make myself as small as possible, make my stature as small as possible, and I'm just gonna slink along the outside of the room, away from all light sources with Pauly.
I'll be back in a second, but I'll still be listening if you need me.
All right.
All right, well, I'll take the lead along the outside of the room.
Yep.
I'll just go one block at a time.
And I'm assuming Pauly's kind of right behind you, possibly.
Yeah, I'd say a couple of paces behind me, possibly.
Yeah.
And then as we get to what looks like a narrower part of the pathway, I'm going to turn around and go, quietly just go, oh shit, fuck, Pauly, I didn't realize you were behind me. And say,
you look back, you definitely see Winford though.
I'm like, and who could forget
I'm just gonna follow in tow for these guys.
Nice. I'm just gonna say it gets quite narrow here. Let me just duck my head around the corner and have a quick look. And I'm going to move one block this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, do I see anything from here?
Give me a perception check.
Nine.
It looks all clear. There seems to be a chamber up ahead to your left that sort of more light is eking out of. So you can see that the chamber seems to turn left, and there's kind of like a little bit of light casting down.
Okay. Well, I'm going to continue.
The floor below the floor below you gives way.
Really?
Yep.
Well, nice.
And so the floor kind of crumbles away. You realize that there was actually some sort of just like almost like a rug that was stone colored on the floor here, and below you is a spiked pit. And as you're falling, I'm going to get you to make a acrobatics check.
Yep. 14 for acrobatics.
That's pretty good. I'm going to have you take only 5 piercing damage, as you're able to avoid the bulk of the kind of spikes at the bottom of this pit. Looks like there's some cut up steel stakes that had been sort of placed in the bottom of this pit, sort of iron spikes.
Oh, wow.
And you fell and you kind of grab hold of the side of the pit and slam sort of into some of them, but not completely fall into the pit of spikes.
Yep.
So you don't take the full damage there.
Can I just pull myself back up the other side?
Well, we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh, great.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Well, fuck.
Single digits. Bathroom break.
Dice. Pauly and Winford, can you roll initiative for me, please?
There we are.
Sorry, mate. I was just saying hi to one of my new subscribers. Give me
hello, Jacob's new subscriber.
Yeah.
His name be the first and last time I ever watch him play this character.
Fucking hoping not. Initiative. There we go. Ooh. I got 15.
I got 22.
7.
You got a
22. Let me just update that here. Cool. All right, Pauly, you've seen Reynard fall into a pit of spikes, and he's kind of
Of
hanging on the edge of
doom. Fallen into the pit of doom.
Okay. I'm gonna move up. Can I throw a perception check to see if I see anything else?
Sure.
22.
So you walk up to the edge of the pit. You look down. You see Reynard kind of dangling, holding onto the edge of the pit. He looks a little bit. His feet look a little bit scratched up. You peer deeper into the cave, and whilst you see what looks to be like a corner in the cave, like the cave turns a bit, you don't see anything in the shadows. You do hear kind of the occasional kind of screech and chittering of rats.
God. All right. I'm gonna get Reynard out of the pit. I'm just gonna basically just like use both my, because like I feel like he's quite heavy, so even picking him up would be a pain. But I'll try fly him out and put him on the other side by using both my action and bonus action to really huff it. You know, like grab him and then get him out.
Yeah. Cool.
Where's the pit end?
It's just sort of a small pit. So yeah, you can get him.
Okay.
You can get him out. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
There we go. And then yes, I will. I guess I'll just end my turn there. I feel like that's strenuous enough for the time frame.
Yeah. Okay. Does a 23 hit your AC? Pauly?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it does.
As you kind of land, you put Reynard down. You hear like behind you. Your back was almost like to the wall of the cave, almost. And you kind of land. You put Reynard down. You look at him. You kind of dust off your wings, and then you hear a chit-chit, like the squeak of a rat, and then all of a sudden you feel a short sword in your back.
Ow.
You're going to take 3 piercing damage.
Cool. I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge just to make that 1 damage.
Cool.
God, they were were-rats.
That son of a bitch.
So
He's a sexy were-rat.
yeah.
The sexiest of
So look at
were-rats,
this
dude.
guy.
Oh,
I mean, I was more expecting like a deep V-neck. Like a real... I don't know about that. He's covering up a little bit too much to be a sexy were-rat. But then again, underneath that, he could be fucking jacked. We don't
He's
know.
thick. He's thick, mate. He's got a fucking booty that won't quit.
Oh,
He's a sexy mate. That dude. He's the reason why they call it a dump truck.
God damn. He's the Henry Cavill of were-rats.
Absolutely correct.
Does a
He built
14
he built his own PC and everything.
hit your AC, Reynard?
It does not.
So a crossbow bolt goes flying past you.
Okay. A crossbow bolt, you say? Can I
Perfect timing.
use my reaction?
No.
Nice. Oh no, it doesn't hit. It doesn't matter. No, never mind. Never mind.
I won't mind.
Okay. Greetings, Aaron.
How are we?
Very good. How's that tasty zinger box?
Everything was good, but my chips were freezing.
Oh,
Oh, unfortunate.
rat bastards.
So to fill you up, to bring you up to speed, Thorendir,
Grimsbane, yeah.
you were kind of woken up late in the foaming mug. Pauly's looking extremely chipper and happy with himself, despite missing some of his best neck feathers.
Okay.
He's
Like we talking like, you know, a chicken that's just been mauled, or like we talking a plucked chook from Christmas?
You notice plucked chook, but just like there's two missing, but they were like the two most prominent neck feathers. They've left a noticeable gap for now. He hasn't had time to kind of preen everything else to cover it up.
There's also
He
a
hasn't done
little bit
They'll
of
grow
dried
back,
blood.
right? Right, they'll grow back.
A little bit of dried blood because Reynard wasn't exactly the best at bird surgery.
Bird surgery or bird plucker?
Both.
Look, I'm not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker's son. I'm only plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes.
Yes.
Nice.
That broke my brain.
Yeah.
So you've been heading into the Warrens, the Gold Whisker Warrens. You've made your way out past the locked door from the Trader's Grotto.
So we slept at a tavern, yeah? Do I have a long rest?
You did.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Continue.
And you, just as you were getting ready to walk through these Warrens, Pauly, Reynard, and Winford sort of got all Pink Panthery and tried to sneakily make their way forward, upon which Reynard fell into a pit. Pauly helped him out and then has been stabbed in the back, and now we're at Winford's turn.
Okay. So I'm up against the wall. So how much of that altercation would I have actually seen? Because I can't see them on the map.
Then you can't see them. You can definitely hear it, though, I assume.
Okay, cool. So I hear Reynard sort of like yelp as he drops down into the pit, and I'm going to move a little bit forward, up to about here. So up there, I suppose, and then going to. All right, I'm gonna jump over this pit. I'm gonna land just where Reynard is there.
Yep.
A second. And I am going to. What can I do at the moment? If I go into a rage now, I have to attack on my next turn to maintain it. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. I'm going to evoke rage.
All right. Roll that wild surge rage dice. Let's see what kind of rage it is.
Alrighty. Thorns.
What does that look
magical
like?
energy roiling. The magical energy roiling inside you sometimes erupts from you. When you enter a rage, roll on the wild magic. Oh, that's what I want. Whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll before your rage ends, that creature takes 1d6 force damage as magic lashes out in retribution. So what it would look like in this sense would be, because we're in like a sort of a cave scenario, is Winford actually turns into like a shale rock.
Talk right at your microphone, yes,
formation. Please. Huh? What?
Make sure you talk right at your microphone. That just sounded so much more crisp.
Oh yeah, did it? So
yes.
Winford's going to stop it. Fucking stop it. So Winford's actually going to once he jumps over on the pit and he puts his two paws down on the ground and he lands, you'll see that the shale rock from the cave surface starts traveling up Winford's fur, and you see Winford turn into like a stone form of himself. So that whenever somebody goes to hit him,
a bit of that rock will break off and do 1d6 damage to his attacker.
Cool.
So
Excellent.
you see Winford sort of like just turn into a stone form of himself and let out a bestial roar at this rat, the sexy rat that has just stabbed Pauly.
Now, you still have an action. You can cash that into dash if you would like to move your movement speed again. Or you can, I believe, use it to sort of go defensive. But that only helps you. So what do you want to do?
I'm going to go into a defensive, actually, because I want to defend Pauly.
Well, defensive stance would be any attack against you is at disadvantage.
No, I have the protected trait. I think it is if anybody is in 5 feet.
All right. So you'll need to...
When an ally is within 5 feet, you must make a strength saving throw. Oh wait.
So you'll need to be next to Pauly for that to work.
Oh, I know. This is only for strength saving throws. I don't think it actually appeals to combat, which kind of sucks. But I am going to defend Pauly. So what I will do is I'm gonna I'll step into a defensive stance beside Reynard here, and that will be the end of my turn.
Okay. Thorendir.
Yeah, baby. I'm gonna finish my mouth full of chips, but I'm fucking cold. Sorry. All right. Lads, what's all this then? What's all this about? It's clearly not Thorendir's voice, but I've got so much potato in my mouth.
Hang on one sec. I'm just gonna go through.
There we go. That was to there, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ironically, I can only see Winford after moving. So, despite having excellent dark vision, I can't see shit, Captain. So I'm going to use my other action to dash and move again. What's this fucking thing here? Is that a spell or a tree?
It's a hole in the ground that has opened up.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, and I will move my character again to there. So now he can fucking see. And we'll then go, Pauly, my lad, don't come toward us under. Your boy Thorendir's here. And cast the Bardic Inspiration on Pauly.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
You might remember that can be used to increase AC if you're getting attacked.
Can it?
Oh yeah, Paul.
Yeah,
just
man.
remember, you also have a redeemable Bardic Inspiration that I gave you with the Streamlit.
I actually gave myself one last stream too. I just forgot about it.
Yeah, but they're not as special as my D8s, baby.
I think next week, if we can, I'm going to get one of you to run the stream part of it so you can keep track. Probably Dylan, honestly, because he's always streaming. And he's not here. But yeah, just so I don't have to keep track of that inspiration, the inspiration cache.
Yeah, fair.
As much as I love you, I'm deep in the narrative. I'm just sucking the narrative marrow out of this story bone.
Stuck in them story berries.
That's right. And just gargling the description gravy as Reynard is ready to strike, having been placed down gingerly on the cave floor. He sees two were-rats in front of him who have attacked.
Well, Reynard is going to call on the arms of Astral Self while moving forward 10 feet in front of Pauly. Let me just... Where is that? Astral Self... Oh, that didn't make any sense. Sick. Anyway, so this were-rat that's next to Pauly has to make a... Where was it? Dex save. DC 15 dex save, please.
Okay.
All right.
13.
13. So then he has to take /roll 2d6.
Why is he taking
5 damage. That's what happens. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 key point to summon the arms of your astral self. When you do so, each creature of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of you must succeed on a dex saving throw, DC 15, or take 2d6 force damage.
Excellent. So just that's like as the arms
they
are
come out.
summoned, they kind of push everyone back a bit and kind of slap them. As
I like to think you just punch that were-rat in the dick.
I just imagine like Reynold like growing arms and just bitch slapping people as they grow out.
All right, so now that that's summoned, that's a bonus action. I'm also going to take one more step forward towards him. And I am going to if I can target him, I'm going to attack with the arms. All right, well, that's a 12 to hit.
12 hits.
For 9 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to flurry of blows as well. It's a 19 to hit for 5 damage.
So I think you just get 2 attacks, right?
Yeah, the summoning of my astral self arms isn't an attack or an action. It's a bonus action. It's just a benefit of them popping out. It lashes out.
Yeah, so you get 2 attacks. So this is your second attack for 5 damage.
Yes.
And you don't get Flurry of Blows, because Flurry of Blows is a bonus action.
Okay. Well, my second attack, well, do I just roll it with my arms again
No,
then? Or should I just use it?
Well, I've just cashed it in there for 5 damage.
Easy peasy.
Cool. Because I think for you, the Flurry of Blows and the attack is the same thing. It's just you miss it. Does that make sense?
Something along those lines.
Yeah. Cool. So you hit for 9, and you also hit for 5. And then on your next turn, you'll be able to hit twice and then do your Flurry of Blows.
Yeah, so that's what, total of 19 damage total.
Yeah. He's not looking great, but he's not quite bloodied yet.
Okay.
You hear the skittering and scraping of tiny feet on stone.
Nice.
And a swarm of rats.
It's jealous. It's jealous that Sexy Were-Rat is paying more attention to us than them.
That's right. And they surround you, Reynard, and start trying to bite you.
Nope.
No luck. You're able to kind of keep your feet out of the way as they try and fuck with your feet, but you're all good. You're just brushing them off as they try and climb up your legs and bite at you, but you're too swift. Some of your psychic arms are able to kind of brush them off as it's Pauly's turn.
Pauly!
Pauly's gonna trying to basically get that sword out of his back and then just say stupid sexy were-rat and then attack him with Talon.
$16 hits.
16. Boom.
Baby.
19 damage.
Certainly.
And then attack him with my Dagier as well. 23 to hit.
Yep.
5 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Once again, I'm going to say it again. Stupid, sexy were-rat, and then stab him.
He lets out a bit of a screech cry as he goes down. The snobbish were. Sorry.
I was actually just going to fucking preemptively fly towards this prick.
Okay. You get to move without incurring opportunity attacks, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The swarm of rats does not get an attack of opportunity. The were-rat in front of you, though, sees you flying at it, sees his friend die, and he's sort of holding a small hand crossbow, he drops it and sort of evading you starts running. Sort of disengages from you.
Can I get an attack of opportunity for that?
No, because he uses his action.
Like he disengages.
disengage you.
Okay. Okay, sorry, yep.
Winford.
I am going to attack this swarm of rats that's directly in front of me. So I'm just going to move up here, and I'm going to make an attack roll with my...
You definitely need it. You definitely need to bring your microphone closer to you, Dan.
Needs to be a little
I?
bit closer,
Hang on.
yeah.
I mean, is that better?
Oh, so much
Way
So
better.
much better? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's just blocking the screen, so I sort of got to
That's
lean
fine.
over.
Get rid
into
of
it.
your... You can take off the pop filter, because that's what that other shield does as well.
Really? Okay, is that better?
That's
That
even
was
better
something.
already.
Yeah, the
Okay,
pop filter's
cool.
just
So-
there to stop plosives,
right up in
but
the
you've
good
got
junk.
Absolutely.
Get him right
You
in.
feel
So-
it right up close.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
baby.
I'm gonna swing at these rats
Keep
Oh,
on
yeah.
rolling, baby.
with my hammer.
What's your hammer called, baby?
Wild Fury. I rolled a 12.
A 12 is enough. Give me that.
12 is
damage.
enough to hit.
Right,
Fantastic. I'm gonna do 10 bludgeoning damage. And because I'm a level 5 barbarian, I'm gonna swing again.
Alright, corpse husband, calm down. I already have an erection.
This has just turned into
That's it.
ASMR.
That's it.
D&D. Do you want the low voice, Timmy? Is this what you wanted?
That's a 15 to hit, DM Daddy.
That's a 10-4.
Fantastic.
Mr.
So
Bear, Big Bear.
I'm gonna do another 12 bludgeoning damage.
You notice that swinging your hammer down whack-a-mole style on these rats is incredibly difficult because you're kind of crushing rats that are in the swarm, but you're not inflicting the same kind of damage you think you would if it was just all one giant rat.
Yeah, I get you. So, my God. So, yeah, like, I'm just gonna start wildly swinging whack-a-mole style,
Yeah.
and
You want to get
hopefully
these rats'
that's not
attention.
over.
Make sure they're sitting up. Make sure they're filling out their taxes. Let's go.
yeah, exactly.
So,
So, I did 22 damage in total.
Mhm.
So, how much damage do you reckon I actually did to it, considering it's a rat pack?
well, damage is a game concept that doesn't exist in my
No,
narrative world.
I see.
Oh, dear.
Well, enough of that, boys. I will move up.
Do you have an erection now, Aaron?
No, do you, daddy boy?
Oh, do you want one?
Yeah,
I can
boys.
go lower.
Thorendir's gonna walk
My
right
voice will
behind
sound
you
like
like
Terrible.
He gonna get right up in there, boy. He's gonna go and get
Right
down,
up in there.
right down on his little knees. He's gonna whisper to them rats.
my
You go and
one
whisper.
viewer at the moment is probably being like, "What the fuck have I just subscribed to?"
This is what we do,
Don't
chat.
He gonna whisper to them rats.
This is Underdark
Who's your
Dedications. Late night. These rats are getting
God, I'm
dissonantly
dying.
whispered. So is this the swarm of rats you're whispering at?
Yeah.
All right. Let's give a wisdom saving throw for the rats. Interestingly, as a pack, they have an average human wisdom, but only a 13. So they're going to take 11 psychic damage as many of the rats, their eyes sort of just glow with purple light, and there's sort of screeching and sizzling inside their brains, and just some of the rats just keel over and die. There are less than half the rats left that began with.
They have to run
Beast,
away.
A big rat pack.
They have to run away. Yeah, so the pack starts running away. This is going to let Reynard and Winford each take an opportunity attack.
Hey, boy. That's a combo.
Nope.
I should have let you die last week, Reynard. Should have
That's
let you
an
die.
18 to
Look,
hit,
fair.
DM Daddy.
That will certainly hit.
Fantastic. I'm just
It's an
gonna
eight.
this is what I want it to look like. I like as the rat packer's going away, I'm gonna like you little bastards and like throw my hammer at the ground at them,
Mhm.
and then like sort of like because I'm gonna run after them and pick it up. Fuck.
Sure.
I'm gonna like chuck my hammer at them.
Yeah. So you're gonna throw the hammer and hit some of the rats as they and the rest of them, the few remaining rats
squash a couple of
run
them.
around into the hammer and sort of screech and run towards Pauly, away from the Thorendir whispers. As it's anything else, Thorendir?
No, that'll be me.
Reynard.
Alrighty, Reynard is going to just straight up. How far can I go? I've got a movement speed currently of 30 feet. So, well, I'm just going to go straight to the rats. And I'm going to give him a nice little bop, bop, bop. Give him a 1. 15 to hit for 8.
Yep. So, yep. So you fly, sort of dash up there, and even just with your first attack, you're able to take out the remainder of these rats, crushing them beneath your psychic limbs.
All right, well, I'm going to do that. And after that, I'm going to just use the last of my movement just to jump up shoulder to shoulder with Pauly.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I can do?
Who is going to skewer the snobbish were-rat? Literally just fly with Talon outraised and try to pierce him, like just skewer him, make a little sexy were-rat kebab.
Nice.
18? 19.
Yep.
16 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And also my dagger to, you need to put the other, like, sometimes the meat's so thick you need a second skewer. 16.
16 will hit.
6.
All right. This were-rat is not looking happy. He's kind of screaming and screeching as he runs away. In fact, he's going to turn, though, as he sort of feels you stab him in the back, realizing that he can't outrun you. He's going to turn with his and sort of draw a short sword and try and attack you.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Does not hit.
You're sort of ducking and weaving around him, on guard-esque, as he goes for his second attack. This time,
that hits, though.
Does connect, though, and sort of slices up your arm for 5 damage.
I will uncanny dodge that.
Okay.
Bring that down to 2.
The screeching you hear from this guy as he's, locked in deadly combat with you. You realize you hear an echo of his screeching throughout the cavern, and you realize that it's not just him screeching. And a giant rat, the size of sort of a pit bull, comes running out the corner and down to you.
Jeez.
What was the con check for?
That was an accident. Cool. Winford.
That was a typo.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
BYOB.
gonna go chasing after those rats.
Cool.
From before, and where did you go? So I'm gonna start like running toward where Reynard went. I'm gonna pick up my hammer as I run past.
Mm-hmm.
Just measuring out. All right. So I want to run like up here.
Yep.
And I want to. How far can I throw my hammer? Is that based on a strength check or like?
I mean, I think it's kind of like throwing.
Actually, you know what?
Just
Never mind. I'm just gonna make a dash action.
Sure.
and I'm going to move up behind these guys here.
Okay.
And
as you run through, you feel the slightest of pressure on your ankle as you trip something, and a wire is pulled. You hear a clunk, and then as poison darts sort of come and land in you.
If I'm currently made of stone, is that going to make a difference?
No, because you take half damage from the piercing part of this, so you're only going to take 1 piercing damage.
Okay.
But I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Level and con save. I guarantee that wasn't good enough. But
you're going to take 12 poison damage.
fuck me.
But you halved the piercing damage from 2 to 1. Isn't that exciting?
Fuck. Yeah.
Whereas obviously Pauly didn't trigger that because he was flying.
Yeah. Oh wait, I would have had danger sense. Why didn't I? Oh, I don't remember that time.
It wasn't a dex. There wasn't a dex save to avoid that one.
No, okay. No, danger sense is different. I think. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can find it. Web pages. There we go. I'm not doing it retrospectively, mind you. I'm just. Danger sense. You have an advantage on dex saving throws against effects that you can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Dex saving
So
throws.
so I don't imagine I can. I couldn't even see that. So yeah, no dramas. But yeah. Anyway,
You got Indiana Jones, son.
yeah, I did.
Did Dunn have to
Get
say
that on the big jobs.
Did Dunn happen to do the dip? Dunn did it.
Dip, dive,
from out
dive,
the
duck,
corner ahead of
dodge.
you, Pauly, another were-rat with a crossbow fires at you.
Son of a bitch.
13 to hit.
13 new.
Would I be
I
able
now
to
have
jump
an
in front
AC
of
of 15. Look how tough I am.
If you physically move in front of between Pauly and the enemy, they'd probably be shooting at you. And Pauly does get.
I could only really move up to where I am now.
Yeah.
What do I get?
Nothing.
Okay.
Thorendir.
I get nothing.
You get nothing. Good day, sir. Yeah, Thorendir being very lagging behind, just trying to catch up the whole time. He will move another 30 feet cautiously. Being the little dwarf he is, and knowing caves and stone, not tripping anything over. And by golly, that's one big ass rat. And fucking yeah, he's gonna ping that cunt. But what with? Yeah, why not? Let's just do another little Desert Whisper. Probably the worst thing I've ever rolled. It's 2 1s.
Is it on the were-rat or the giant rat?
This one there.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. Not going to cover it.
Womp womp.
5 psychic damage. And he has to run his movement. He uses his reaction to run away.
Right, yeah.
Now, Winford will get an attack
an opportunity?
opportunity. But I believe, Pauly, you used yours to uncanny dodge.
Dodge, I did, yes.
Okay.
I did, yes.
I want to make my roll now. I'm rolling really shit today.
12
12
hits.
hits. 12 still hit. 12 still hits? Okay, cool. 11 bludgeoning damage.
You crack this guy, this were-rat in the back of the skull as he runs away. And he kind of stumbles. He's still somewhat upright, leaving a trail of blood as he runs.
Oh shit.
Thorendir, anything else?
Oh no, that's the end of my turn.
Cool.
That's me
Raynon.
done.
Doing my best to avoid the trap. I'm going to just make my way into the room.
Now that it's been triggered, you can kind of see where the pressure plate or where the wire was that Winford had pulled, and easily jump over it.
Very good. Well, I'm going to run up to here, and then I'm going to target this fucking rat, and bam, bam. That is, the first one is a 16 to hit.
Yep.
Second one is 17 to hit.
With 2 swift strikes, you turn this rat into a pink mist.
Nice. And then I'm also going to take patient defense. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take patient defense. I'm just going to end my turn there.
Cool. Another were-rat steps out from the shadows. This one, seeing Winford, the giant furry creature that he is, looking like he's made of stone to a certain extent, spiky sort of stalagmites growing all over his fur, is going to take a shot at him.
17. 23. Yeah, 23 will definitely hit.
Yep. And he takes how much damage back?
A d6 of force damage.
Okay.
So I guess what it will look like is like a stalactite falling from the cave. So like the way I picture it is that Winford, as he goes into a rage, has taken from his environment and sort of become one with the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever somebody attacks Winford, the cave will attack back. Yep. So what it will look like is like a stalactite or like a rock will like fall from the ceiling or like
crack him on the back of the ear
and like crack him on the back of the head or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah. So I'll roll that. Do you want to roll a d6 or want me to roll?
No, you roll it. It's your damage.
Cool. Rolling d6. He will take 6 damage.
There you go. He doesn't seem stoked about that. So for his second attack, multi-attack makes 2 attacks. Yeah. He's going to fire at Pauly.
3 piercing damage.
That hits.
7 piercing damage for you, Pauly.
This is a new turn, correct?
And it is now your turn again. Yep.
Can I know that's right. I don't get my reaction again until it's my turn again, do I?
Correct.
Okay, damn.
But you did have inspiration.
Oh, yes.
You forget that, mate. But you can't do it. You take the damage, can't you?
Good point.
Yeah.
You would have had to roll a 5, I think, to boost it high. 6 actually to boost it high enough for that one.
Oh, well, you had D8. You could have got it.
That's all right.
Does your inspiration lower the damage, or is that only Law Bard's cutting words?
No, it doesn't lower damage. I can add on to AC.
Gotcha.
Hold on, I'll read you what it is. It is. Combat inspiration. A creature that has bardic inspiration can roll that die and add that number to a rolled weapon damage, or to roll where a roll is or when a attack roll is made against the creature, or it can be added to the AC against the attack.
Gotcha.
But can be added after seeing the roll, but not before knowing whether it hits or misses. Yeah.
That's kind of hard to do because I put those numbers together, so I just allow it that before you take damage, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, my turn?
Yep.
Beautiful. I'm going to dive in and then hit him with Talon and Dagger and then dive back out.
All right.
Pauly special number 1. Ooh, 10.
10's not going to cut it. It's not going to pierce it either. 26 will.
26.
Now,
20 damage.
He is standing near one of his allies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so just 8 damage.
8 damage.
And then I'm going to fly back to where I was.
So what is your speed while flying?
50.
So you don't get back the full way. I will have you make an acrobatics check though, because this is quite a low cavern. And so turning on a dime like that is going to be difficult. No,
13.
Oh wait, 13. 13's that's still pretty good. Yeah. Wow,
Plus
even
10.
with a 3, that's 13. Shit.
Plus 10. Yeah, I when I popped in more of my when I leveled up, it went to plus 10. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Acrobatics is like I think it's just swashbucklers in general. They are like acrobatic. They can do performances, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
That
Like
makes sense.
Yeah, it's like my performance and persuasion at +9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow that. So yeah, even what like you bank hard, you can, especially because you're thrown off a little bit by missing that first attack. But even then, so you're great. You're used to flying through, rigging and ropes and like swooping around sails and stuff like that. So you find that even though these caves are quite tight, you're able to make it around. You think, probably only a critical failure at that point would probably really unseat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to make it out.
Beautiful.
The were-rat who dropped his crossbow, though, is kind of standing back, and in fact, he's going to take a couple of steps back. He's got his swords out, but he's not really looking to jump back into the fray just yet. Winford.
All right. I'm going to move up to these rats up here, but I'm also going to yell out to Pauly, be like, Pauly, stay behind me! And I'm going to move to about here. And I'm going to sort of like do a run and sort of like slam with my hammer, which will be a 19 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
And that's 11 bludgeoning damage. And I don't think I can make another movement. It was like, was I standing next to Reynold or was I standing there? Like, I can't.
You were standing there.
You've got what?
I think I was standing
feet?
there. 5 more feet. So I'm gonna like do a sort of like a hit and run, and I want to get to this next guy here, and I want to hit him too. I want to like my intention is to like try and get their attention, so they start attacking me and stop attacking Pauly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go up here, and I'm also going to attack him as well.
Allow it.
Woohoo! Natural 20 to hit.
Can you roll yet another d8 as well of there's going to be force damage.
Yeah. So I'll roll that now. Is it d6, not d8? Sure. So on this second guy, I'm guessing what it looks like is like an extra 1 damage. But an extra 1 damage. So what it looks like is like I'll do a hit and run on this first guy. I'll smack him in the abdomen with my hammer, and then I'll get to the next one and I'll sort of like pick off 1 foot and slam it straight down on his head. And the force of that will also cause part of my like rock body, who also like break off and stab him a little bit.
Excellent.
Like a graze kind of thing, you know?
Yep.
Little stabby stab.
Little stabby stab, yeah.
All right. The petulant were-rat, who you hit first, he's not looking great. He drops his hand crossbow, pulls out a short sword, and goes to attack you, Winford. First attack completely missing. He's just too overwhelmed by being punched in the face with a hammer. Second attack, though, does hit for 8 piercing damage. And then he obviously takes... As he chips off some of the sort of rock on your fur, like your rocky fur, it sort of lances up and hits him in the eye. So give me some force damage in return.
So that first attack, let me just double check the wild magic table, because I'm not sure if it's like whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll. So I'm guessing if it doesn't hit me, it doesn't count, right?
Correct. I think so.
Okay, I think so. Cool. Yeah, so I'll roll that d6 now. D6. He takes an extra 3 damage.
Okay.
And that's force damage.
Yeah.
And I will take 4 piercing damage.
Correct. Thorendir.
Yeah. Once again, trailing behind. Let me measure. Yeah. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And I feel like this is just the beginning. I will. This bad boy here, I'm gonna shoot with a crossbow.
So the one that's sort of behind Winford, this one here,
Yeah, that one.
he's looking healthier than the two sort of in front of Winford.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go this one here then.
Sure.
Sorry, I thought that was the one he was attacking because I couldn't
It was,
see.
but the other two look
Oh.
have taken a better, stronger beating.
Yeah. Just because I couldn't see back there what was going on. Yeah, I will shoot that one. Does a 12 hit?
12 hits.
Yeah. For 8 damage.
What were you aiming for?
The right eye.
Yeah, just crossbow long, goes streaming past you, Winford, and smacks into the one behind, and he drops to the ground dead.
Yeah, and then I will use for my bonus action. 1 second. Where is it? I will use a healing word on Winford.
Oh, thanks, pal.
For 6 health.
For 6? No.
Can't.
Cool. Renaud.
All right. Renaud is going to dash forward. Not dash, but he's going to run forward to here. And then he's going to pop this guy. For 12 to hit on the first one. For 10 damage.
Yep.
Followed by another one. 22 to hit for 7 damage.
That'll do it. So you fly in, arms a blur of sort of shadowy light. Crack, crack, crack. And then the were-rat collapses in a heap.
I'd like to imagine Renaud came in with the first one and did the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
The slap on both ears to concuss him.
Yes.
And then the
those
final
big rat
one.
ears too.
Yeah. And the final one was just a punch straight to the throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he fucking gets. And then Renaud just yells at the top of his lungs. No, he doesn't. He doesn't yell at the top of his lungs at all. We're in a cave. And Renaud whispers, "Elementary."
That's good.
And then he waits.
Renaud assesses the situation. 2 claps to the front left ears. Concussive blow.
Short jab to the tracheal.
Short jab to the trachea.
The were-rat in front of you, Winford, panicking, tries to run you through with his short sword.
Oh, yep.
Screeching in fear, hits you for 23 to hit.
Yeah, 23 definitely hits.
Yeah,
I'll take the 4 piercing.
Yep.
And he also takes a d6 of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Just 1 damage.
Yep.
So he goes out to stab me, and as he stabs me, like a small rock sort of like flies from the corner of the cave and hits him in the temple.
Yep.
And then is that on me as well?
Yeah. So then that rock hits him on the temple. He drops his sword, and sort of lost in the frenzy of it, bites you for 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
And a piece of rock, like him just biting into you, seems to sort of like his teeth sink in, but then like the spikes on your skin flex, and sort of impale him in the mouth, and then he kind of falls to the ground. You got to remember he probably bites you in the midsection, because these are gnome were-rats, right? So they're quite short, and he goes down. I need you to make a Constitution check though for me.
Con check. Just a saving throw or a check?
Saving throw.
Saving throw. That is 16.
Okay. Cool.
No comment?
No comment.
That's fucking terrifying, Dan. Don't do that to me.
It means you passed the Connie, boy.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No. Like he gets impaled in the face by my belly spikes.
Yeah, and he falls to the ground dead.
Yeah. Are we out of combat yet, or are we not out of combat yet?
Yeah. I'll say you're out of combat.
Okay.
You don't see any more immediate threats.
I would like to investigate the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do a magic awareness to see what kind of magic these were-rats were under, and see if I can track that magic from somewhere, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, give me a schnoz check.
Oh, I was going to use magic awareness.
Oh, magic awareness.
Yeah. I've got a couple of those.
You can definitely smell, or like, because when you turn on your magical awareness, I guess you kind of smell and see magic, right? I think is how we've established it.
It's sort of like Witcher senses. Like it's sort of just like you can see the aura of it, and it's Yeah, you can see around each of these creatures. There definitely is an aura of. It's not specifically like a magic spell. Or even highly concentrated magic, but you can definitely see that there's some transfiguration, transformation magic about them. Okay.
And you can. Each of the 4 of them have the same kind of perhaps smell about them. That's kind of this. It's like the blood smells a bit different than, and certainly different from the gnomes you've met over the last day.
Okay.
As they die, I think they would start shifting back to their gnome forms.
Okay. So, I'm guessing because rats are like pack animals, I turn around to the rest of the crew as my rage starts to wear off and the rocks start to like crumble and fall off of me, like a little like a fair-sized landslide. And I turn around to them and I just say like, "Oh, rats usually attack in packs, so we could probably expect a fair few more of these guys. But these guys are were-rats, so like how do I explain this to a bunch of people that don't understand transfiguration magic? And like they were people, and then they turned into rat people, and since we killed them, they turned back into people. But I think we just should be aware of like maybe not getting bitten by these guys, because it travels through the blood. This, and then he like pokes them. Is like this ratentropy, or then yeah.
Well, yes, that Winford. I'm very aware of how curses of rodents work. I've ventured many a time into a deep cave and seen men bitten by many a things. It's never a good thing. But us hardy dwarves are resistant against such most tropes of poison. Bring on the rats, I say.
I'm gonna I lost my train of thought. Never mind. Don't mind me.
I like to think that that's in character too. Just,
Winford loses his train of thought.
oh, I lost it.
Well, I had a
Oh,
thought,
no.
and then it's gone.
Don't mind.
That happens normally when Thorendir starts talking. Everyone just drifts off and doesn't pay attention.
What was that? Sorry.
I said that happens. Oh, you
Gotcha.
You got me. You got me. I've had a long day. You've got me, cunt. Fell for that one, hook, line, and sinker. Well, I say we carry on in this cave, because we've got to find those rat bastards. What? Let me have a look. What did I write down yesterday before I had a nap?
Just so you know as well. Okay, so we it turns out that this is very similar to a certain conflict in the world right now. We have displaced people and people who came back to resettle there and then push these people out. So we're really not sure if these gold whisker people are bad people.
Well, that's why I thought we were going to go and see if they would have peace talks. But apparently you guys just went straight to, well, here we go killing again. So
They attacked us first.
These aren't yeah, they took us first. These guys aren't like the gold whiskers.
Well,
I think these are just.
I heard they were possibly were rats, and I go to sleep for 2 seconds and wake up and see you guys killing were rats. So I assume the negotiations were short.
They just attacked us immediately without any conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think it might have been because Reynald fell in their pit.
Ah, well, I see.
I think they might have liked that pit.
Now, have you boys got any potions to heal up your bloody wounds, or did you come in non-prepared again?
Yeah, you see, I tried to buy some potions.
I brought snacks.
But no one has paid me amply enough to afford them.
Reynard, shut up when the adults are talking, okay? Winford, Pauly, did no one think to buy potions?
Reynolds just gonna walk away, scratching his head like, fuck me, right?
Winford rattles around in his pocket and he brings out a couple of rations that he's got. He was like, I don't have any potions, but I do have snackies.
Well, I do want to say we are a certain giant Goliath down. You boys are going to get a lot more injured. And my little healing word can't fix you all. As I say that, I cast healing word on Pauly.
Thanks.
For 7.
And I will say this point, because it has been a while since this mechanic of D&D has come up. We've played different editions since then as well. The Star Wars D&D, it all works a little bit differently. Remember, there are short rests, and you can do them throughout the adventuring day. So you don't have to take one now, but I do know that in some of the D&D games I play, people forget that short rests exist. They try and have 2 fights and then have a long rest, and then do a puzzle and then a long rest, and then scratch their butts and then have a long rest. They either forget that short rests exist, or they just have their eye on the long rest prize. So do remember that short rests do exist. You have hit dice; they're there for a reason.
Oh yeah, I've got stuck of rest and everything, but I love short rests. But apparently, people's shit don't come back.
Yeah, apparently my hit dice didn't come back after that long rest.
Maybe we should just go for a short rest.
So when you long rest, you get hit dice back equal to half your level, I believe.
Yeah.
And then, you can spend hit dice during short rests.
Short rests, yeah.
So I would have gotten 2 hit dice back?
Yep.
So I should have 4. How do I change my hit dice?
As long as you didn't use them all yesterday.
No, I didn't use them all, yeah.
He only rolled 1.
Yeah, I only rolled 1 of them, but I've only got 2 left according to this.
So it may not have updated that for you.
Okay.
Cool. Where to, Gumshoe? Are you guys taking a short rest, or are you
I
burning
think
through
we're
healing
good for.
words?
I think we're good for
Yeah,
now.
I think we should. I think we should actually.
Well,
okay.
then,
All right.
I'll take back my fucking healing word, and you can take 7 health back. No, I'm joking.
I only mention as well because I know
No, that's fine,
Reynaud,
that's fine.
Reynaud does get his shit back from a short rest. So
Yeah.
it's obviously quite important for him.
I'm okay with short resting. If you guys are.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah. Sure. If you want to do
Well,
that.
considering I just got up 2 minutes ago, but sure.
I mean, it was a long walk through the streets. You haven't eaten.
No.
You haven't had breakfast. You haven't had secondsies.
Thorendir puts his hat down and whips out the dulcimer and what's my thingy, Bob?
Reynaud will whip out the vial. Just fuck around with that.
I recovered 9 hit points. That puts me up to a pretty healthy level, actually.
How does that make
Sure.
Thorendir feel when you're busting out that song of rest, you got the dulcimer, and then Reynaud busts out of essentially an ancient violin, like a weird extra planar violin. So it looks, it probably looks fucking cool. It's like partly see-through. It's got those neon lights.
It depends how well Reynaud performs it.
I'm trained.
We roll an extra d6 or d8?
You roll an extra d6.
A d6.
Yeah, my hit dice never came back
1.
either.
And an extra 1 hit point.
Thanks, I'm just gonna give me a sec. I'm gonna proc the long rest without taking the hit points back to get my hit dice back, so then I can do a short rest to use them. Because I used them all,
as long as you know that you've done it correctly, I'm good. I'm not gonna wrap you on the knuckles for it. As long as you know what hit dice and you've worked all that shit out. Just because I'm not gonna check up on you. Just so you know, it's all honesty. It's all Scout's honor at this table.
Well, I lost 5 hit points. I got 6 back from that long rest, from that hit dice, so I'm good. But yeah, I'm apparently trained in the vial. So
give me a performance check.
My performance is a -1, but I'm trained in it.
Yeah, I'll give you the +3.
I got a -1 +3, so that'll be a 5.
Yeah. What do you think, Thorendir?
This is how Thorendir thinks of his performance with a 19.
Nice.
I think
Thorendir don't care.
You all
Thorendir
don't
plays so
understand
well.
planar music.
Thorendir plays so well that it covers up the sound of Reynaud's playing.
And also because I'm level 5, I gain back my bardic inspirations on short rest now as well.
There you go.
Yes, the font of inspiration. Regain all
Very
of your
nice.
extended uses of bardic inspiration when you finish a short, long rest.
Quite handy.
So that one Pauly didn't end up even using.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's back in the chamber.
Back in the pool. Yeah, it's back in the gun, mate.
Put it back
Rock
in the
stopped.
kiddie.
That's funny. Sorry.
Cool. All right. So you've taken a bit of a short rest. Hold on. Let me just double check if anything happens to you.
There's a cave in. We all die. New
Rocks
characters next
fall.
week.
Everybody dies. It was a Gru. A Gru attacks. Nothing happens. Or does it?
They were load bearing were-rats.
Nice. We took him out. Like any good demolitionist should. Speaking of, where's Nesbit?
Oh yeah, wasn't he with us?
He doesn't come out on adventures.
He doesn't
with
come
us,
out
though.
on like active adventures.
He was with his last adventure.
He's back at the hotel.
Back at the hotel, mate. He's like,
He's taking a break.
Him and Ratty.
well, all right. Is everyone at full health and used all the hit dice? Because
Yes. Well, I'm gonna stealth again. If we're going to go exploring more through this cave.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 23 for stealth.
Yeah.
So Reynard sneaks off into the darkness.
Just disappears.
Yeah, Thorendir fucking... Yeah, well then, let's move forward. Rats never scared me. And we'll venture on ahead. But being wary for any traps or anything in the stone.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Perception. 22.
Yeah, you see another spot where it looks like the ground is actually sort of a grey, dust-covered tarp of some kind.
I pick up a medium stone and throw it at the top.
Yeah, and it sort of just collapses in the tarp, and the tarp collapses and there's sort of a pit beyond.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
iron spikes at the bottom.
The old real fake floors. And Thorendir with his magical boots will run and jump over the hole.
Cool.
Reynard's just gonna do some dope monk shit.
Just parkour off the wall.
Yeah. Are we in this next room? Yes.
Sure.
He's just gonna parkour across with Thorendir.
Cool.
I assume I don't have to roll anything because I've got the boots of striding and springing. But
Correct, and it's quite a small pit anyway. Having seen it, each of you are easily able to kind of just hop over without problem, and you continue along. As you continue through the caverns, this part of the sort of smaller cavern breaks out into bigger ones, and you see that this cavern perhaps at some point held the old city's smelters and marketplace for ore and uncut gems. And as you press forward, you see sort of this like raised dais overlooking what appears to be a marketplace, and a small crowd has gathered here. Most of the assembled creatures are deep gnomes, but some of them have some degree of rat-like features, including a fat specimen sort of standing in front of the others. And Thorendir, as you kind of walk into the opening of the cavern, this sort of fatter, stouter gnome smiles at you with jagged buck teeth. "Peace," the big were-rat says, and he takes a step forward, arms extended, hands open. "Chipgrin's the name. I am the chief of the Gold Whisker clan. Shall we talk?"
indeed, my lad there. Chief Whisker, was it? My name's Thorendir Grimsbane. Heir to the Grimsbane fortune. Chats are indeed what we have, friends. Let us extend our hospitalities. And Thorendir goes up and embraces the gentleman with open hands.
Winford wants to put a hand behind him to motion to Pauly to stand behind him and proceed cautiously.
Yeah, Pauly listens, goes behind him.
Reynard's basically next to Thorendir, but very stealth-like. Like creeping along like no one will see me.
Yeah, Thorendir's like moving out into the open a little bit more though, so I don't know how close you'll be.
I'd probably be like the end of the boy.
Well, I'm gonna be like over
on the edge.
Here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So Chipgrin, the were-rat who sort of introduced himself, says, "Master Grimsbane, please accept my humble hospitality. Join me on Chipgrin's rise, my own personal plateau where we may drink and discuss the future of Blingdenstone."
Well then, yes, finally some hospitality of coming to this place. Yes, indeed, let's have some drinks and be merry, and let's all share each other's hearth.
Can I make an insight check to see if this chief is being
like honest and true.
Sure.
That's 15.
Trying to think. Yeah, so while he seems quite furtive and afraid, like this is probably like Winford, you probably intuit this easier than others. Like this is not a predator. This is like a prey creature, right? He's got some of those rat-like qualities, sort of the
that's what I was
He's, like,
thinking. Is
looking
like,
around, looking at the shadows. But he is. You don't think this is like a sinister, like step into my oven, right? But this is he certainly doesn't. Whilst he's nervous and looking around, he doesn't seem like afraid. Like he doesn't seem panicked.
okay.
He's obviously like
I'm
come
just-
forward as well, and he's like,
Yeah. I think like my mindset toward this this situation is like Winfred, obviously being an animal of sorts, would be able to sort of like pick the qualities of the were-rat kind of like the type. Yeah, Jesus. Speaking of animals, you just scared the shit out of me. Get down, bud.
No, but
and,
you try to say like an animal instinct about it.
yeah, sort of like an animal instinct sort of thing, which is why I rolled an insight check. I'm just thinking like because rats are generally kind of like dishonest. Or at least I'd imagine they would be in the D&D world.
Here's Winford. He's clearly in his home. It's a mouse.
To be fair, Thorendir, I am standing behind you. I'm just proceeding cautiously because rats tend to attack in packs, and I don't want to the way I'm considering it is like I don't want him to get the upper hand just in case he decides that he doesn't want our company anymore.
Sure.
That's basically how I'm going to proceed. So,
Yeah.
I've motioned to Pauly to stay behind me, and I'm just going to keep proceeding cautiously just in case shit hits the fan.
Sure. And he kind of motions to like follow him as he, makes his way further into the marketplace, and sort of the gnomes, these gnomes with sort of rat-like features and midway transformation into rats themselves, sort of step back to allow you room, and Chipgrin kind of starts walking up these stairs up to the raised dais. Now, Thorendir, you count at least 20, 30 people in this market square alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are the rest of the guards following, or are they just?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
following.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
I'll
I'm
emerge from the
following.
shadows
I'm
and follow.
following. What's he? I can't see where he went.
Yeah,
He went up the stairs.
I can't move up these stairs. Hold on. No, I can.
Oh, those stairs? Oh.
No. Oh, we've got a very merry jig coming. We've got chairs, boys.
So Chipgrin kind of motions for you to sit down. You see that the floor is covered with a well manicured carpet of green moss. The were-rat chief sits on a stone chair, flanked by two giant rats that are sort of like pit bulls. Draped over the chair's back is a cave badger belt. And he says, "Let's get down to brass hobnails then."
Let's get down to business.
And he sort of motions to there's some, a were-rat person sort of comes out, or a small gnome comes out and pours some drinks for each of you. Yeah. And he says, "You were sent by the Digamatox because they want us out, right? Right?"
Yeah. Well, it is tradition before we do business. We do business. And Thorendir grabs a glass that obviously were poured, but touches Pauly in a way as not for them to drink just yet. He goes, "We must truly exchange greetings. I, Thorendir Grimsbane of the Grimsbanes. humbly accept this meeting and toast between friends, and goes to cheers the Chitgrin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he takes one of the glasses. Like all the glasses were kind of the same in terms of they were
Yeah.
all just laid out on the table, poured into. He grabs one of them, cheers as you, looks you in the
Yeah.
eye.
I assume we both drink.
Yep. He says, "To the
Yeah.
meetings of friends," and he.
And while Thorendir has a drink, just because I am like immune, like have what is it called, fucking.
Poison immunity.
I'm resistant against poisons.
Yeah.
Do I taste anything funny in this drop?
No. This tastes like it's a particularly strong mushroom gin, but there's nothing more poisonous about it than the fact that
it's mushroom
alcohol.
gin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once we've cheered, I look at the party and cheers them, and then do another drink with them. Yeah.
And he said it like with the back of his hand, his third hand, he kind of wipes away the remnants of his whiskers, and he says, "Well, the Diggamatox," and he kind of looks a bit sad, and he says, "The Diggamatox may get their wish soon enough, but in a way they ain't likely to cheer about." And he sort of raises his glass to you again and just drains the rest of it. And that's where we're going to end it for this week.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
Sweet.
Bro, this is fucking so cool, man. Fucking, I love these fucking little barrel things we're sitting on just chugging. Fucking.
Chugging mushroom gin.
Yeah, so sorry I'm on late, guys. Like, they're literally, we only running at the skeleton at the
dude.
moment.
nah,
Because of
it's
COVID
all-
and
that's-
shit. It's fucking, a lot of work's going on.
Nah, it's fair.
I hope what you were able to grab.
I'm so suspicious of these fucking rat people, Dan. It just seems so sus to me.
I'm actually not, yeah.
I'm not at all.
Because
Yeah.
there's the oppressors and then the people that are oppressed. These people
Yeah.
seem like the downtrodden to me.
No, look, I get that, but like being a bearkin and encountering a lot of kinds of animals in my time,
Yeah.
I'd imagine that like Winford.
Oh yeah, they're rats, bro.
Yeah, Winford is kind of cautious of rats because they are rats. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was very too. But the moment someone like Thorendir can't not accept a greeting and hospitality.
We were okay. Look. If we were to go with that same thing, if we were to put like our first, gnome we met was a
Yep.
fuck machine who was very unreliable. Right. Our second greeting of a gnome was an explosive pyromaniac. Okay, we realistically, these are the first rat people we've met, and they've been nothing but lovely already.
Yeah.
So to assume makes an ass out of you and me.
No, I just loved it where just like, please stop, come embrace me and be merry. I'm like, well, I'm wearing Sunley Farmer, so if this kind of attacks me, some burning hands on you, and I ran.
I suppose I'm just following like animal instinct.
Oh
with,
yeah, dude, that's when you were saying it. I'm like, hell yeah! I'm like, you trying to say the animal instinct shit because that's real.
Yeah. Like that's how I was trying to sell it
Yeah.
before, because I was just like, Winford would have encountered rat people before, and I'd imagine that like probably didn't really have a good experience with it.
Nah. I'm like one, I'm resistant against poison, so if they do try to turn us to rat people, I might have a better advantage. And two, if he bites me, well, he's fucked. I'm going to get a free spell on him. So I'm like, I'll take the lead, boys.
Yeah, no, as soon as I had one of those rats bite me, I was just like, oh,
Yeah, dude.
that's gonna happen again.
Yeah, dude.
But,
That was good though. Thank you very
That was-
much.
Hell yeah.
that was
I
fun.
very much enjoyed the the crossbow kill. I'm like, fuck, do I waste a spell slot or use a crossbow and then heal Winfred? I'm like, what this crossbow's gonna do nothing. This is gonna be a waste of a turn. Oh shit, no, I killed that shit.
I'm really enjoying the wild magic barbarian. I'm really enjoying like doing the whole taking it from my surroundings kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's a cool
that's
addition.
super fun.
Yeah.
Boys, hate to love you and leave you, but I got to keep this
Yeah.
content train rolling and switch
Well,
games.
tell everyone in
Catch you
your
later.
stream to go subscribe to my YouTube channel, bitch.
Exactly.
So they can
Nah,
rewatch all the episodes.
Get your call outs. Get your call outs. Come on, guys, get it done.
I got a couple
Nonfictiongaming.com.
subscribers out of tonight. I'm actually pretty happy about it.
Go
But,
there.
Wait, what is it? YouTube.com/non-fiction
Non-fiction gaming.
gaming.
That probably works. I hope that works.
Let's have a look. I'll click the link just to check. Yes, it does. Very good. And Jacob, do you want to shout yourself out?
Oh, no, I'm okay. I don't need to shout myself out.
I'll shout you
Ah.
out, buddy. Behind closed doors.
Yeah,
Baby.
all right.
Yeah.
Fine. I guess I'll go fuck myself. See how it is.
Yo, don't forget to use my code TWICGAMES for 10% off G Fuel, baby.
Hey, baby.
I
All
know.
right.
And if you
That
haven't
doesn't-
already, go to
don't
I
use that.
am Dylan James.
Dylan
And
James.
do the things. Do them. Hit the follow button. Raid the
Catch you,
thing.
boys.
Grade the thing.
Bye. Bye, Dylan.
Bye.
I'm
Have
going
a
to say
good
goodnight as
time.
well to these boys. Thank you very much. I had a lot of fun running this game. And interested to see where you guys go with these were-rats next time.
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be a piss up that's going to last 3 days, and then we'll go from there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The only way.
About that.
Only
Drink
way,
them out
mate.
of their mushroom gin.
All right.
Cool.
I'm going to turn my stream off as well. I think I've only got one guy watching.